Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to our board meeting this evening. Call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. February 23rd, 2026 at our administration building. Sue, would you be kind enough to do a roll call for us?
Chuck Milkey.
Present.
Ken Engel.
Present.
Kim Winter. Andrew Fick. Present. Autumn Henry. Here. Jenny Walguest. Present. Carrie Germain. Present.
Thank you, Sue. I haven't heard from Kim. I talked to her earlier today, so I think she plans on being here, and I'll make note that our board representative is here also, Desi, and our deputy superintendent, Dave Simonson, and our interim superintendent, Wayne. So that being said, we're going to have a pledge of allegiance, but I think Wayne wants to have all the children that came in today to get awards to come up and lead us in the pledge of allegiance, if they would. Yeah. Just 3 or 4? Yep. Not all of them? Okay. Not all. Oh, Kim's here.
Okay. Yep, Emma, you can come over here. Okay, yep, good job. And then the flag is right there, okay?
Okay.
All right. Ready? Put your hands over your heart.
We ready? Who's going to lead us?
Go ahead, Lucas.
You ready?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
One of the things I think it's right that I've done when I've been out of the schools is we like to recognize students. And that's what school's all about, to get to recognize different students for the great things that they do in classrooms. So that's how we want to start the meeting off tonight. We're going to recognize several students from different buildings, and next month we'll recognize students from the remainder of the buildings. So let's start with Moorish, and could you come up with and bring the students up one at a time for us, please.
Hello. Is this on? Yes. My name is Jacqueline Thompson. I'm the proud principal at Moorish Elementary, and tonight I'm really excited to introduce 4 Moorish students who were nominated by their teachers for consistently going above and beyond and striving for excellence. These students truly embody what it means to be a Creek student through their character, leadership, and commitment to learning. So it is my honor to recognize the following. So I'm going to call you up one at a time and read just a little bit about what your teacher said. So our first one is Lucas Shibley. Yeah. And Lucas's teacher said that he demonstrates exceptional effort and helpfulness. He always looks out for his classmates and lends a hand. He is selfless, kind-hearted, and very deserving of this recognition. So Lucas Shibley.
Congratulations, Lucas.
I'm going to give you your award, and then you can go over and go see Mr. Wright. Yep, good job.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Can you stay right here 1 second? Smile for me. Hold your certificate. Beautiful.
Good job. All right, the next is a second grader, and her name is Alea Vant. And a few things that her teacher had said was that she is brave and always stands up for what is right, even when no one is watching. She greets others with the kind words in the hallway every day. She is always smiling, and she is an excellent role model for all of our students at Moorish. So this is Alea Vant. Alea, will you come stand right here so Miss Michelle can take a picture?
Can you turn your certificate? Thank you. You're beautiful.
Good job. Look right here.
Smile. Thank you.
Good job. Our next Moorish student is a first grader named Emmeline Sharp. And a few things that her teacher said was that she holds very high expectations for herself and produces exceptional work. She goes above and beyond academically and socially. She has a strong work ethic, and she's an excellent role model in school. Mr. Wright, good job. Yes. And then our last Moorish student is a kindergartner, and her teacher that nominated her was Miss Walla, and her name is Vivian Bongiorno. And her teacher said that she goes above and beyond to help her classmates and even her teacher. She works hard and has shown great growth this year. She always demonstrates Creek expectations, and she is always willing to lead a helpful hand in class. So good job, Vivian. And then, just so you know, Miss Lucas was nominated by his teacher, Mrs. Boyce. Alea was actually nominated by our speech pathologist, Jennifer Bertolite, and Emmeline was nominated by her teacher, Miss Campbell.
Thank you.
Good job.
Good job, Ken.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Chantel Manning. I'm the proud principal of Elms Road Elementary, and I am here to present 3 awesome students to you. My first student is Camden Morris. He was nominated by his teacher, Miss Wiles. He is representing our 3rd grade class. And just a few things Miss Wiles mentioned about him. Camden consistently demonstrates Creek behavior each and every day. He shows respect to others through his kind words and thoughtful actions. He is hardworking, motivated, dependable, helpful, and a positive role model for his peers. I'm here to present to you Camden Morris.
Yay, Camden.
And go this way. You gonna do it later? Yeah, you can go. My next student is Charlie Conkright, who was nominated by Ms. Patterson, 5th grade. Just a few things. She is a hard worker who perseveres through challenges. When Charlie sees someone in need, she is quick to jump in and help. She is a member of our student leadership team and a Blueberry ambassador. She sets the example for her peers, and any classroom is lucky to have her as part of the classroom. I am here to present to you Charlie Conkright. And my final student for Elms Road is Gwen Schaefer, represented by her teacher, Miss Butts, 5th grade. Gwen is committed to learning every day at school. She is always prepared and has a positive attitude when learning new things. She is a member of the Blueberry Ambassadors. She has volunteered her time to sing Christmas carols at local nursing homes and has helped sort and pack food at a local food bank. Not only is Gwen kind and considerate of others in the community, she shows compassion in the classroom to all of the staff and students at Elms Road Elementary. I am here to present Gwen Schaefer. Thank you.
Good evening, board members. I am R.J. Kaplan. I'm the proud principal of the Swartz Creek Middle School. I have 5 students I'm presenting to you today. I picked each, this is our first time doing this, so I picked these 5 actually. And I gave each one of them an award based on our Creek code. So first, I would like to present Micah Williams. Micah, come on up here. Mike, I'm proud of you because no matter how hard the content is that you have to learn, you never have a problem asking for help. You are committed to learning even when it's hard. You are a very committed student, and this is for committing to learning. You're welcome.
That is a nice smile. Thank you.
All right, next up is Kylie Carlisle. Kylie? I'm giving Kylie the reward or the award for respect. Kylie, I'm proud of you for the respect that you show everyone at our school, your teachers, your classmates. You never ask for respect, but you always give it to everyone, and our school is a better place because of you. For the last 3 years, every time I see you in the hallway, you call me bestie, but you half the time I don't remember your name, but you represent the best of what it takes to be a dragon, so this is for respect to everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Get a picture. Next up is Ashley Martin. Ashley. I'm giving Ashley the award for Everyone is Responsible. Ashley, I am very proud of you because you have several leadership roles in our building, and you always have responsibility wherever you go. You have a sense of urgency when you're taking on duties in the school, and you show responsibility for the different leadership tasks that you take. You are a true dragon leader. Everyone is responsible. The next award goes to, for Everyone is Safe, Alyssa Campbell. Hey, come over here. This is Alyssa. Alyssa, come on up here next to me. I'm very proud of you. You create a safe place wherever you go. You have such a peaceful presence that is only equally as beautiful as the art that you create in school every day. And that presence makes other people around you feel safe, all right? So you make everyone feel safe. Alyssa, this is an award for Everyone is Safe. Okay? You're welcome. And last but not least, kindness counts. Brody Burns. Where's Brody? Brody, I am proud of the kind young man that you are growing into each and every day. As a student leader and a student athlete, you walk through our building you have a smile on your face that spreads kindness to everyone around you. I think sometimes you're trying to be mischievous, but I think, but you are proof that kindness counts when it comes to being a dragon. So this is for kindness counts, buddy. Thank you.
I always love the portion where we just recognize some of our well-deserved students that we have in the district. So this is an opportunity today. Now I'd like to continue to do this as we move forward. So parents?
Yeah. I want to thank all the parents that came on this cold, canceled school day. I want to thank Wayne for starting this program. We talked about it about a month ago, and he thought it would be something worthwhile and to institute it as a lifelong thing for Swartz Creek. To do it, I don't think it's ever been done, so I'm glad it's here, and I want to thank the principals and all the support staff and teachers that came out to honor their students. It's a really big deal, so thanks again. Appreciate it. And with that being said, you guys, if you want, you can go ahead and leave. Nobody will feel bad. Now comes the crust of our business, but thank you, kids. Thank you, guys. Thank you, parents. Thank you, teachers and principals. And Michelle Corbett, you'll be putting those out on the internet, right? Where's Michelle at? Did she leave?
She's running something.
Oh, I had to come up here. Thank you. Michelle, can you come up for a minute? Michelle, can you come up for a minute?
Go ahead.
How are the kids going to get their pictures? Are you just going to send to the principals? Okay. Good. Okay, yeah, as long as it's okay. Thank you. That's all I want to know. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, I do need some of that. Thank you very much. That's important. Who had this? Thanks. You want some?
I was like, wait, what? Why today? Thank you.
Dave, do you want any of that hand sanitizer? Okay.
Desi, you want some?
I'm sorry. We passed it. Okay. Everybody exiting, as they're exiting, we'll continue on with our agenda. We'll go into public comment. It's agenda specific. We never really made a decision if it be on board action item, or board action items or anything on the agenda, so I think we'll just open up to all the agenda if nobody has a problem with it. Because everybody, we never kind of capped it the other day, so. Okay, anybody like to come up? Please come up, you have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address, and you'll get 3 minutes. And Jenny will keep time and give you a heads up when it's about 15 seconds.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm Brianne Wilson. I'm president of the SCCS. I live here. I work here.
Yep.
I'm like one song away. I'm commenting on, I see our re-upping of approval of School of Choice is on the agenda, and I just want to say there's districts across the state who are really struggling with rapidly declining enrollment in their districts, causing enormous financial burdens. We are lucky to not be in this space. We have had enrollment slightly go down, but by very slow amounts because we have the luxury of having so many students who decide to come here. Having a bigger student body allows us to present a wide variety of programs, such as AP in the secondary level and STEM labs and things like that in the elementary. It really matters to me that all of our students have all of those options for their education, so I encourage you to keep that going. Thank you.
Thank you, Brianna. Sir?
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity I have today to come before you. My name is James Johnson. I currently serve as the Vice President of the Carman-Ainsworth School Board, where I've served for 12 years, and I've also served as the immediate past President of the Michigan Association of School Boards. And I had an opportunity to serve as a trustee for the Genesee County Intermediate School District, a tenure which only lasted 12 days. I decided to step down to avoid any potential conflict with my employer for 26 years, which was Lewis and North CPAs. And I've been there for 26 years as the IT director and the cyber consultant. Today I'm here to give you a brief glimpse of who I am as a man, as a father, as a civic-minded, faith-driven, family-centered leader, committed to community service. And I hope that each and every one of you had an opportunity to look at my election statement that was mailed to you. And so today I just want to let you know that this is my sincere hope that when you get to agenda item 12B, that you have the capabilities and the possibilities of appointing me as your Region 5 Regional Director. I'm a proven leader who knows how to work together with people during trying times, conflict, and disagreements. I'm skilled in helping teams navigate challenges, find common ground, and resolve differences without creating chaos and division. My leadership style is open, honest, grounded for long sustainability and advancement in public education. That's why I'm seeking to serve as Swartz Creek Region 5 representative. And in the boardroom, a couple of months ago, I heard the question asked, what is effective? What is highly effective? I've had the opportunity to lead 25 state leaders, each with unique backgrounds and perspectives and challenges. While we always didn't see things the same, we chose to work together, we listened and we learned, and we constantly found common ground that led to meaningful collaborative solutions. So therefore, I'm looking to be elected as your Region 5 representative. For me, continuity matters, experience matters, proven leadership matters, strong, consistent leadership matters. So as you make your decision tonight, please, among yourselves, just even though if you elect me or don't, I would like to have some feedback so I'll know how I'll be able to help you in the near future. I thank you for the time. I thank you for the opportunity. Remember, the name is James Johnson. I am resilient, respectable, relatable, and definitely reliable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
My name is Mike Lovsenik. I have two students who actually go to school here. I'm here to talk about one of the board menu items. School of Choice students are Swartz Creek students. They are our students' friends, and teachers here support them. We already screen for behaviors and issues when those students come here. These are students coming here because their parents want a better life for them. Some are just across the line into Carman-Ainsworth. If you've ever looked at a map, Carman-Ainsworth goes like kind of a worm down through the middle of Flint and Flint Township. So some of them are our neighbors. Our schools are actually closer for many of them. This board has lied about how funding works with School of Choice students. They've inferred things about their character, consistently misunderstood the entire situation. Michelle Paul presented the entire data set and situation, and still all we hear are opinions that are not based on facts. Swartz Creek is actually in the lower half of schools in terms of percentage of Swartz Creek, School of Choice students. I can hand this to you if you wish. You can see it, it's right there. If you limit or close School of Choice, we will lose teachers and staff, which you have threatened to do. You've threatened to close schools to do that. We will not see better staff ratios. You'd have to raise costs in order to do that. In terms of this decision, you should also know that your board president has entered into a court case involving our school district. I have copies for people here if you'd like. It's not detailed in the page about what it is. What is detailed is that that board president is suing 2 of your current board members, 2 former employees, and 2 current employees. That is clearly a conflict of interest. Anyone here knows that. It's about the base definition of conflict of interest. This person should not be allowed to make decisions that will impact the finances of this school district. The people who are just chosen not to be superintendents may have issues, grounds for a lawsuit because this person is making that decision. You need to resign from being president. You need to resign from this board. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jamie Patterson. I am a 5th grade teacher in the district, and I am also a parent of a School of Choice child. I am here tonight to urge you to keep School of Choice open for all of our students. They bring so much to our district daily. They add to our community, and I think that it's really important that we understand the financial drawbacks of eliminating School of Choice. Staff will be lost, buildings will be closed, and our community will not be the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, Brian Jones, community member. I'd just basically like to echo what Mike said. School choice kids, there's been several issues brought up. Do they have worse attendance? Maybe a little, but their parents are responsible for getting them here from wherever. So there is that. They don't have a bus, they don't have whatever. You guys have bent over backwards to facilitate buses to district kids, so cut these kids a little slack if their mom, their car didn't start today or something, because they're coming here to be better, to have better things, not to as one person, one board member's husband put on Facebook that, what do the taxpayers have to say about this? A lot of these people are taxpayers. Most of those people are taxpayers. And more importantly, they're citizens, and they're allowed to do this by law. And you're also allowed to deny them, but why would you? It's a net benefit. That was another thing that was brought up, that somehow they're sapping our money. When you brought that up, Chuck, your math did math. And you were taking into account fixed costs and dividing them into those kids. If you moved into my house payment would remain the same. And if you moved back out of my house payment would remain the same. My heating bill would be pretty much the same. A lot of things would be the same. So the fixed costs, that's a fallacy that people put in there, and that is not true. That being said, the other thing, I know you always say that I'm here for the kids and I've never blah, 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 blah. But now you're suing the district. What kind of nonsense is that? So you're going to help the kids by what? Getting some money off the district? Is that good? Do you feel that you were so wronged? I know the other people you're suing too, but you somehow feel so wronged that you need to come here and take some money away from district kids so you can, what, feel vindicated? Well, I'm pretty sure you're not suing for just an apology because, oh yeah, it's in circuit court, which is, or district court, I'm sorry. District circuit, whatever it is. Anyway, over $25,000. I'm sorry, what?
We're getting off topic of the agenda items specific, if you want to save that for after.
Sure, I can do that. I'll be back.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Anybody else with public comment?
Hi, Andrew Wilson, Gaines Township, Swartz Creek. I just wanted to echo some of the other sentiments that about School of Choice. And as a taxpayer, it's encouraging to me that my tax dollars will go further for in-district kids as a result of the surplus that School of Choice kids provide to the district. If that's confusing to you about why that might be, I'm happy to explain it, or you can go rewatch Michelle Paul's her presentation on it about things like fixed costs and other things. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Any other public comment? Okay, we'll move on to our consent agenda.
I would make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
There's a motion on the floor by Ms. Henry to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
There's a second by Ms. Walgast. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda?
Within the consent agenda, we do have two employees who have resigned, for I believe they're retiring and so forth. I'm not for sure, though. Kira McKinney, an educational aide, and Deborah Willard, an educational aide.
Any further discussion on that motion? Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Ken Engel?
Yes.
Kim Winter?
Yes.
Andrea Fick?
Yes.
Jenny Walgast?
Yes.
Chuck Melkey?
Yes.
Autumn Henry?
Yes.
Carrie Germain?
Yes.
7 yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to the interim superintendent's report.
Today we had an act of God day. I don't call it a snow day, I'll call it an act of God day because we only had about an inch of snow out there. But the roads were extremely slippery. Most schools to the east of us here, in other counties, in Tuscola County and so forth, and up in Saginaw County also canceled schools today. My understanding, we may still have I-69 closed down for an individual that went off from the ditch here with a semi. I hate to cancel these schools on a day like this, but I felt it for the safety of the children was best for a move today. The GISD is hosting an MASB class on March 19th. The class is CBA 323 called Run the Room. The CBA class will be held at the GISD and will be held from 6 to 9 o'clock that evening. That's on March 19th. And I have some flyers here, board. And I'll be at a superintendent's retreat on Thursday and Friday of this week. Several administrators will be joining us, this remainder of the superintendents, on Friday as academic coaches and myself, as we will be attending a presentation by Tommy Thompson on visual learning at the University of Michigan, Flint. And that's all I have. Any questions, board? Thank you.
Any questions for Wayne? Once, twice, thrice. Good. Okay. Desi, Student Board Representation Report.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all are having a great evening. Student Council returned today from their state conference later in the afternoon. This was a 3-day conference where they took 24 students to Grand Rapids for a statewide leadership conference to build their leadership qualities for our building. 15 students are signed up to work Wellness in the Creek, and that is going to take place the first week in March. The high school is also pairing with the elementary to do a second annual Reader Across the Creek for March's Reading Month, and that will include the high school and the elementary school students. The blood drive that was supposed to take place on Friday the 6th is now taking place on Wednesday the 25th in the PAC lobby from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Our girls bowling team won regionals last week with 3 varsity girls qualifying for individuals at states as well, and states will be taking place this Friday and Saturday. The girls varsity competition cheer team advanced to regionals from districts and has broken numerous school records over the course of their 2025 through 2026 season. The archery team will also be advancing to states on March 14th through 15th in Lansing. Swartz Creek High School English 12 students are preparing for mock interview dates, which are April 8th, April 9th, and April 10th. On February 11th, 10th grade students were able to go to the Genesee Career Institute from 3:30 to 6 to experience the feel for the classroom and tour the classes that they were choosing between to take their junior year. The Swartz Creek High School Academic Honor Ceremony is Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 at 6 p.m. in the Performing Arts Center, and this includes grades 9th through 11th, and students have to have above a certain GPA to participate. And throughout the whole basketball season, NHS students were collecting money for the Genesee Humane Society, and it was very successful. On Wednesday, February 18th, the Swartz Creek Band had a concert, and it went very well. There was a lot of good solos where different players got to display their talent. The 8th grade students went on their annual DC trip on February 11th through the 14th. And 4 students had the honor of participating in a wreath ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and these students were selected for their role after writing essays, earning the opportunity to represent their classmates in that moment. The Middle School Drama Club has a play on February 27th at 7 p.m., February 28th at 7 p.m., and March 1st at 2 p.m. And the play is The Little Mermaid, and it will take place at the Swartz Creek Performing Arts Center. Elms will be kicking off March's Reading Month on Thursday, and they're going to have Olympic theme this year with weekly challenges. On April 15th, Elms and Siring, along with the middle school, will host STEM night. And the Blueberry Ambassadors, along with Mrs. Camus, I don't know how to say her name, spent Saturday morning with 6 ambassadors and their parents serving at the North End Soup Kitchen. Opportunities like this encourage students to grow in their leadership, empathy, and service skills throughout the community. The weekend of February 8th, the Blueberry Ambassadors were able to participate in service at the food bank in sorted fruits, vegetables, bread, and baked goods, and packaged 19 full pallets, which equates to 9,888 pounds of food. These 2 events for the Blueberry Ambassadors are not the only 2 events that they have participated in this month as well, which I think is pretty amazing. On February 17th, Kindness in Creek for K-5 families took place at the high school from 5:30 to 7:30 and was filled with connection, creativity, and community. And I personally had the opportunity earlier this month to tour the VLC, and I'd say it was pretty amazing. I got to learn about how their day-to-day functions and all of the wonderful things that they do there. It was very enlightening, and I'm so grateful that Mrs. Robertson gave me the opportunity and provided me her time to show me around. And that is all I have for you guys today.
Any questions of Desi? I just have one. How much did you raise for the Humane Society, do you know? Oh. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, our next agenda item will be informational, and that is the non-certified hires. You don't need any board action on it, but you guys can take a look there of, I think they hired a total of 5 people.
And these people are all replacing people that have left for one reason or another, retirement or whatever. It's no new positions.
Okay, board subcommittee reports. We'll start out with academic achievement.
All right, thank you. We met on the 9th, myself, Jamie Damon, Lisa Mihalchik, Michelle Paul, Kelly Robertson from the VLC, Dave Simonson, Wayne Wright, Autumn Henry, Kim Winter, Jenny Wolgast, and we were joined by our public member, TJ Heck. We did have on our agenda the high school registration guide, which is before us tonight, the course catalog, and I'll just say up front, they need to have that approved this evening so that they can have it available as students are beginning to select their courses for next year and for the counselors to assist them. Jamie Damon and Lisa Mihalchik presented the proposed registration guide, the one for next year, and to the committee, and responded to questions and suggested some language changes. The highlights included updates to English language, literature, math, science, psychology, and other courses. When asked about timing, they did remind us that it was critical that they get our approval so that they could begin the work. Virtual Learning Center registration guide and course catalog is also before us this evening. Kelly Robertson presented the registration guide and responded to our questions. And they also included an increase in credits for graduation to 22 due to the addition of a half-credit personal finance class that students will be taking. She also shared that there are students asking that in place of or in addition to traditional language selections, that they could take American Sign Language through the online program. And Michelle recommended that Kelly share the per cost for each student. I did receive that information this morning from Mrs. Robertson. I did respond to her with a few questions. The highlights there, I asked if it would also be available to high school students if they wanted to take the course, and what the cost would be for students year over year if we paid a flat fee. It appears that they're estimating about 200 students might be interested in this particular program, and I can share those details through Wayne to everybody if you'd like. But it would be an online Edmentum class, and you have to use their teacher for that program. One of the follow-up questions that I asked Kelly, and I just asked her this afternoon, is would there be an opportunity for mentoring for the students or somebody who they could be connected to, possibly at the Michigan School for the Deaf, so that they would have a real-life experience in this process. That wouldn't be an online component, obviously, but it could supplement their learning. Academic data winter benchmark is, Michelle had given us some NWEA MAP growth results, and Dave, I believe you are the designated hitter for that tonight, are you correct? Dave will be giving us details, and we had some good news. Reading and students are reading better than the national norm, with growth occurring system-wide. For math, achievement is nearly the 50th percentile, with steady growth positioning students to meet end-of-year expectations, and we'll learn more about that in Dave's presentation. Dr. Heck had some clarifying questions and recommended definitions for addition to the course guides in NWEA MAP presentation, and we always appreciate her feedback. And the committee thanked the presenters for their efforts, and that's all I have for that. Any questions?
I love that students are interested in taking sign language. We actually have at least one student right now at the high school whose parents are teachers at the Michigan School for the Deaf. So, and I feel like there was a few in this last graduating class. Remember graduation, they had people, but yeah, so we have some students right now whose parents are deaf. So I think maybe seeing that and having those current students with parents who are deaf is probably encouraging them, right? They want to, the kids aren't hearing impaired, at least the ones like, the couple that I know are not, but I love that to me shows they want to be able to communicate with those parents, right? Like, you know, you go over to their house and they don't have a way to communicate with those parents, so I think that's great.
So I have a question for you, Wayne, because I just got this information this afternoon, but is it possible, and we, of course, it's up to the, administrators how this works, but is it possible that high school students in the main high school building could also choose to take this program in addition to their language classes, or as the requirement, or?
I'd have to check.
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that right off the top of my head.
Okay, we didn't have that conversation during the
We
meeting.
didn't, and I have to check.
They were estimating about $60,000, and I did ask her to clarify the timing for that and if she knew, but I'm sure we'll have more information.
I do have a question, and it's going to get asked multiple times tonight as we go from topic to topic. It's probably more directed at Wayne than you, Carrie. But the words were echoed for the children to pick their classes. We need to get that approved tonight. The reoccurring theme here at Swartz Creek, from the last time I was on the board till still current day, is we get things at the last minute, and when they come to us, then it's a hurry. We need to get them approved. Classes didn't come about for next year last week, the week before that, or the week before that. And if they did, that's even more of a problem. We're gonna have the same topic with our athletic handbook tonight that we could have had, I think it was back in November, December. We had our fiasco with that. We threw school choice on the agenda, which is not gotta be done at this given moment. And there's another topic, I'm drawing a blank on it. Oh, the VLC, and having those children in the head count for athletics. Again, that was due on February 11th to the state of Michigan, and you and I spoke about it on Monday, I believe, last week anyhow. So there's 4 topics right there that our administrators are not handling in a timely manner. It's a common theme. I don't know if it's a class they teach you guys or what, but it's a continued process. So if everything that the administrators are doing is in a timely manner like that, I would say that's not only a problem for us on the board, but it's probably a problem for teachers as well, and students. Because these are 4 topics that are gonna come up tonight, and every time we come to it, I'm gonna beat this up again. So if you have an answer for me, I'd love to hear why this just came to Carrie now, or to, I'm sorry, academic achievement, and why not a week ago or a month ago? Excuse me. I'm assuming from Ms. Damon, since it came out of the high school.
The only thing I can react to right now is the schools of choice. I put that on there myself. I've always, wherever I've been, I've always approved that in February or March. There is no state time date that I have to have it approved, but I always wanted it approved or reacted to prior to kindergarten roundups. So if parents coming in, they have a chance to sign on in the forms at that point. So that one I'm going to react to. We could wait till next month if you wanted to, but that was my putting, I placed that under myself.
But what about this topic right here? Because when we get to the next one, I'm going to bring this up again. But what about this topic? Why is this being brought in a hurry to the board and not a month or so ago? What are we doing at the high school that's lacking?
Well, what we can do is we can do a time frame. We can start putting tick marks on when they need to be on the agendas ahead of time and make sure that we have them on there in advance in the future. If you think that it needs to be done in January, we can put that thing on in January as we move forward. We can just put tick marks on and get them guaranteed that they're on each time.
Well, I think we should, because as of today, it's a last-minute hurry. I mean, those are the words coming from the high school, that's the words coming from Carrie. It's a last-minute hurry. The other topic, it was due February 11th. Today's the 22nd, maybe? Third, okay. My point is this is something that repeats itself. And it's going to repeat itself 4 times in this meeting tonight. That we've done something last minute. It's not acceptable. Don't make your problem my problem. In this case, we're making it the board's problem. So tonight, if for whatever reason we didn't want to do that and we kicked the can down the road another month, then what did we do at the high school? So we don't have a choice really but to do something.
So if I may,
Sure.
Ken, did you read the summary in advance?
I listened to what you said. You said that it was very timely for her to get it, she needed it done now.
Not what I asked. The notes would have said that we needed to approve it, and Sue did provide for us the document that's up for approval. My question is, are people looking at that? And you always have the opportunity to ask questions of the folks who are the experts in this area, which in this case is Mrs. Damon as the principal of the high school, and Ms. Mihalchek, who was representing the counselors in the district. And Mrs. Robertson was doing her best to get an answer that was posed to her about the cost of the program, and she was able to do that today. So I guess I'm curious, what is it that you didn't understand or didn't have enough information about. These are not momentous changes that we're being asked to change. The most notable one was probably the addition of American Sign Language.
It's not the changes, it's the fact that it comes with urgency to the board, not in a timely manner. If it's urgent, then that means it needs to be done sooner than later. If we had a question, I don't know to ask. I'm supposed to ask her today, over the weekend? I don't have a question. It's the common theme that keeps going. I don't have a question about this one. It's the theme, though, that keeps going, is it's urgent tonight.
Yep.
Why is it urgent? Why did we wait till tonight? Why didn't we do this last month?
Okay, Ken, back in our organizational meeting on January 7th, one of the documents that we had was titled Straw Man Calendar. I'll pass it down so you can look at it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it shows on February, we're right on track for, so like, I don't know when this stuff is due or whatever, but looking at this calendar, we're on track. It says February, possible board meeting items, MASB director's election, approval of school of choice, board resolution is due April 25th, adoption of Swartz Creek High School student registration guide, approval of VLC course guide. So this says that these were the things that we are going to be probably tackling in February. So if there was an issue with any of these, looking at this, like if I knew I was going to have an issue with the high school, any questions or anything like that, I would be making sure ahead of time that I asked my questions before, because looking at this schedule, we're on track.
You're missing my point.
Well, I know, we didn't get the documents.
No. The point is, when she gave the presentation, it was said it was urgent that it gets done tonight because they need it. I don't care if they do it next month, whenever. I don't know when they need it. But why did it become urgent tonight? Why didn't we do it in January? So maybe we should move that on the straw man
Well,
calendar.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If it's urgent today,
According to the calendar, we're on track. I mean, it is critical that we approve it so that we don't delay other things, but we're right on track. It's not like we're behind. This is exactly what we're supposed to be discussing in this meeting, according to this calendar.
so is the urgent comment theatrical?
I can't say that. All I can say is that we had a published calendar. The things that are on here were on here on January 6th,
Okay.
so. Just,
We're, points well taken. We'll move on.
Well, we'll make it again here in a minute, because we'll
Yeah, I
come
know
back
you.
to another one.
Yep, I got it. Yeah, I don't disagree with any of you. Go ahead.
Well, there was an
Andre?
email sent out on February 12th, where Sue put all this in she put it in there and said, this is we're gonna talk about at the next meeting.
Okay, last time, and I'm gonna shut up about it. What aren't you getting? I'm not saying we weren't notified. I'm not saying the straw man calendar's wrong. What I'm saying is, if you're going to say this is urgent and it has to be voted on and done tonight, why did it wait till now? Would you pay your bill late so that it becomes urgent, or would you pay it a week ahead of time?
Well, we're not doing it late, we're doing it now.
If a
It
student
needs to
gets
be
asked to
done.
turn something in, and they turn it in tomorrow, well, I guess it was urgent, because if they don't get it done, then there's gonna be a problem because they turned their paper in late. That's urgency. We're missing the point. No one's saying we didn't get notified, no one's saying it's not in a timely manner on the straw man calendar. It's the term urgent. If it's urgent, we need to change it. They need to change it. They're the ones that have the timeline, not us. We can approve this in December, for all I
Yeah,
care.
I think what you're saying is you just like it a couple months ahead of time in case there's issues.
I don't want to be told it's urgent.
I think it
okay,
would
that's
be
enough.
beneficial to do that for transparency's sake. If we have any questions, we can talk about them in open versus, emailing everything back and forth all the time. But that's just my opinion.
That's a good opinion. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's move on. Next report will be the treasurer's report. You ready, Ken? Unless you want me to go first. Yeah.
We got February 17th from 15:52 hours to 17:40 hours here at the administration building. Present at the meeting was Jamie Cowan, Bill Loader, Michelle Paul, Chuck Melkey, Carrie Germain, Jenny Walgas, Ken Winter, and myself. The agenda was made by, created by Jamie. We talked about under financials, January 26 financials are at or below the budget at this time per Jamie. If you don't have them, there's attached documents. They were handed out at the meeting. Next topic was grants. The GHS grant was approved for $10,000 or for Wellness in the Creek, which is going to be at the Cage on March 5th. I think it was spoke about earlier, correct? Okay. 31 AA funds, they have been received to the tune of approximately $459,000, but that budget is not available yet. The district has applied for a $14,000 robotic grant. Under Jamie's other, K-5 restructuring costs are being collected and will be available upon completion. Mary Crapo concession equipment budgeted for $21,000 has been ordered. I do not know all of the stuff in there. I do know it has to do with the concession stand and cooking hot dogs and popcorn, I believe. I think Chuck will be able to talk about that better than I. This one's a tough one. The WTA status update at the middle school parking lot. That was quite entertaining, but apparently the district is still searching for who is at fault for the poor job done with the parking lot, and we are still going to attempt to recover the cost of repairing said parking lot. The Williams firm status update on the investigation, they are still investigating and more funding may be needed. The firm to replace Delaport on the internal complaint is a board action tonight. And the board request for GSRP data for the last 5 years is still pending. And that's it. If you have any questions, I will try.
Any questions of Ken?
One.
I was just going to clarify that the firm to replace Delaport is not an action item tonight. I am still waiting on documentation from one of the companies. I should have that tomorrow, hopefully. I'll forward that along, and it will be on a future.
Thank you for correcting me.
The status, the parking lot issue, is this a question? Should we attempt to recover the costs, or are they doing that?
I believe the should is who we are trying to collect it from. That's changed. Correct me, maybe Chuck or what?
Yeah.
It went from what, an architect to the actual person that performed the task? Is that accurate?
Yes, there's some argument on who's actually liable, but we do have a bill outstanding, and we're going to be talking about that in closed session, or parts of that issue later this evening.
We may have to look at the bonding issue on the parking lot piece.
We have an insurance binder that we can go back on. Any questions, Mr. Engel? Yep, if anybody wants to approve what's been submitted to you by Jamie and Ken, we need a motion for that, please.
I'd like to make a motion for the treasurer's report to be accepted.
There's a motion on the floor by Ken.
Andrew supported it.
It's been supported by Andrea. Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Autumn Henry?
Yes.
Andrea Fick?
Yes.
Jenny Walgast?
Yes.
Ken Engel?
Yes.
Chuck Melkey?
Yes.
Carrie Germain?
Yes.
Kim Winter?
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you, the motion passes. We can go on to you want me to do my meeting first, Jenny, or would you prefer to do it? Oh, I'm sorry, bonds, I'm sorry, policy.
All right. We had the policy meeting on Monday, February 9th. We started at 5:30 p.m. Everyone who was present was Jenny Wolgass, Kim Winter, Carrie Germain, Mr. Wright, Mr. Simonson, Michelle Paul, Jamie Damon, and TJ Heck. So our agenda items are the athletic handbook and Neola Policy Series 1000. We discussed the updates being made to the athletic handbook that has to be done tonight to clear up the cuts, no cuts issue with high school athletics. And there was discussion on that. And then we had the Neola policy discussion, and that started at 6:15. Wayne explained the format of the policy handout and let us all know that suggestions had been highlighted and circled within the document. I think we emailed a copy to everyone, is that correct? Everyone should have got it so they can start reviewing it. And then we had public comment, and it was suggested to publish the athletic handbook using a formal outline format, which we talked about might happen next year, or when we approve it this year. Committee comments. Jenny asked about the transportation policy because of the shuttle bus issue. It was discussed that that would be addressed when updating the Neola policies. And then Wayne let us all know that we could reach out with any questions we had about this Neola policy series 1000s. The meeting adjourned at 6:32, and the next meeting will be on Monday, March 16th at 5 p.m. And the plan is to review and discuss Neola policy series 1000.
Thank you, Autumn. Any questions of Autumn's report? Okay. Jenny, we'll go to yours, and I'll finish my report at the end.
Okay. So we had the bond committee meeting on February 17th at 3 p.m. Attendees were Chuck Melke, myself, Carrie Germain, Michelle Paul, Jamie Cohen, Bill Loader, Sydney Schultz from Auk Construction, and Vasilios Barros from French. Meeting was called to order at 3:05. We received some updates from Auk. The pre-construction planning has started. They're measuring windows and doors. Planning meetings with the high school and middle school staff to prepare for the move will be held in March and April. We did speak before about possibly bringing in the elementary staff, but they have determined that they will actually have their own meeting for the elementaries. The financial tracking grid for the bond projects has been updated. The total, so there's some charts and some graphs, and so there's some totals shown, and those are the funds that have been spent. It does not reflect approved bid amounts. Some of the pre-qualified funds are being reallocated to gains for a new roof. We did not have any public comments. I just asked for the amounts allocated to bids to be added to some of these tracking reports, just so it's easier to see what's been allocated and what's left. We don't have any board action items for tonight. We adjourned at 3:18, and the next meeting is on March 17th at 3 p.m.
Thank you, Jenny. Is there any questions of Jenny? None? Okay, we'll move on to mine. The building operations and site meeting was conducted on the same day, 2/17. It started at 3:19 p.m. We were at the admin building in the conference room. Present was myself, Chair Wayne, part of it, Carrie, Jermaine, Bill Loader, Michelle Paul, Jamie Cohen, Jenny Walgas, Ken Engel, Sydney from Auk, and Belicio from French, and Kim came in for most of it. The first agenda item was they're installing a card access system at the cage to help with security and safety of the building. This was brought up last month, and Bill's already on it, taking care of that for the coaches. The parent drop-off area at the high school, lights were added for safety to brighten up the morning for the drop-off area. Gaines Elementary had some plumbing issues, so repaired pipes were done. They replumbed the chlorine injector feeders for the water osmosis system and replaced faulty valves out there. All the buildings equipped with boilers within our district were tested and treated by HUV Burton. This procedure is done approximately 3 times a year for the boilers. While there, Bill had some of his in-house staff fix some of the relief valves at the middle school that were bad. Bill notified that Corey Went, a longtime employee, I don't remember if it's 30 years she's worked here, or 28. It's been a long time. But she's worked here for quite some time for the district, in the building and other parts of the district. She's retiring. Congratulations to Corey. And Bill stated he was going to move Ann Sterling, a longtime bus driver with 20 years in the district to Corey's position. So I want to congratulate Corey for retiring and Ann for, I guess, getting a promotion. Next thing was Mary Crapel. The ballpark is wrapped up except for 2 items. The 2 punch items are railings still need to be installed at the concession stand and still at the south retaining wall. This is by the Swartz Creek building inspector before full services there, although we're going to be playing ball there next month. Storage cubbies are being fabricated and will be placed in the dugouts for the kids. The PA system was ordered from Rollins Soundcom. No installation date as of yet because they're behind. The price was approximately $12,700 coming out of the Mary Crapel Fund. David Lurvey, the builder, wants to donate $5,000 to the athletic department if he can install a memorial plaque in honor of Joe Stratton on one of the dugouts, who was a longtime teacher and coach. We had a previous conversation about this, and I requested Michelle that we need a policy on this, as we did not have one currently adopted. She's working on it, and she's going to come up with one so the board can review it, was my suggestion, and then approve an official policy. I did make a suggestion, instead of putting plaques up all over the district, that potentially we put in a 4x8 plaque itself, and then have everybody have small brass plates when they want to donate or do something, so it looks uniform throughout the district, and we just don't have plaques all over. And I would like, I suggest we put those at all the district buildings for anybody that's been a longtime teacher, longtime supporter, longtime booster, to put those plaques up in memory of them. And I just think we need to adopt a policy for that, just so it looks uniform throughout all the districts. And other than that, Mary Crapel, the grand opening, I believe Michelle's March 4th. Michelle Corbett's been working diligently on it with Bill Loader, so I encourage everybody to be there on March 4th, weather permitting. We will have hot dogs and popcorn and coffee, and no, not hot dogs, donuts. Am I right? Donuts. We're a little early for hot dogs, right? And the kitchen equipment that Ken talked about has been ordered. I don't know if it'll be in place by then. So I hope everybody attends that, and hopefully it's not snowing on us. The Gaines kitchen update. The electrical system will be worked out this month. They had to do an electrical study. It's almost all done. It's looking pretty good. The food service has requested quotes for the kitchen equipment that needs to be upgraded because some of the equipment there is old and it's not built for a full kitchen, along with exhaust hood placements. So we're compliant with all ADA and Michigan codes. K-5 reconfiguration. The Powell Relocating Company is doing a walkthrough for the proposed classroom moves. They will also be buying boxes or supplying boxes, moving supplies to aid in the transition, and they will be giving us discounted prices. They will be going to staff meetings throughout the elementary schools to go through all the procedures with the teachers, label them to make a smooth transition so everybody's boxes get in the right classrooms. Bill has met with Sinclair concerning the playground additions, and we're going to relocate and ensure all elementary equipment is placed by the start or near the start of the school year. And our group at the operations wanted to make sure all equipment was safe, equally distributed to all schools with safety precautions, because some of them aren't spread out enough already, so we would have to change those. There was really no public comment, and discussion ended at 3:50 p.m. And the next day is March 17th, 2026 at 2 p.m. So whatever, and I'd like to remind the public, the meeting starts out with the bond committee, finance, and then the operations building. So it's usually 2 to 5 for anybody that's interested in coming at the meetings. So with that being said, I'll answer any questions of that report, if any. None? Okay. Did I miss anything from my fellow board members that were there? Okay. All right, we'll move on to board discussion items, measuring momentum and progress, and I believe, Dave, you're going to take that over for us.
Yeah, and I will try and be brief. I'm reading off of Michelle's presentation. It won't be as smooth as what she could present, but every year, this is not new, exploring our data as a district, looking at the metrics. We measure student data 3 times a year so we can kind of see how is our instruction doing. The exception this year is that we moved to a new test, an NWEA test. It's new for us, definitely not new to education. A lot of districts in the area have used NWEA for years, but Swartz Creek has used STAR testing for the last decade, and before that we used something called AIMSweb. We've not used NWEA for many, many years. In fact, the entire time, 22 years that I've been here, we have not used NWEA. So the measurements that we used this year were different. Therefore, we're kind of looking at it and saying, what information is this giving us? A lot of the teachers, all of the teachers, all of the district staff have been trained or have been working through the training on this, but we're still going through it the first time as a district. I will say this, that I know that a lot of our staff members actually came to us from districts that used NWEA and are very familiar, and that's why we moved to it, because there was some familiarity with it. So it gives us a lot of data, but this is just a snapshot view of where we're at. We've had 2 measures. We had our fall data collection, and now we've had our winter data collection, and we're just going to kind of talk about what that revealed so far and mid-year, and then in the spring we can kind of talk about what one full year looks like. So on the screen, Travis, you want to back up real quick. Again, this is the mid-year snapshot, and so the key question we're looking at with this is, are our students making expected progress toward our spring targets? That's really what we're looking at, and then seeing what other data do we need to look at for our growth. So go ahead, Travis. You'll see on our ELA, or our reading, we're actually doing very well. What we would say is very well. We're in the 53rd percentile overall, 54th percentile. This is nationally normed, meaning we're comparing to all other schools in the nation that use NWEA, and our students district-wide are doing very well. So we're happy about that. Go ahead, Travis. Math, not quite as strong comparatively, but still approaching the 50th percentile. So for our first go-around, this is baseline data. We're happy with that, and then we're going to, as a staff, look at what do we need to use this data for to kind of tease along the growth and make sure our students are there. You'll notice the different colors in there. It shows the percentage of students in each percentile. So we know which students are where. We have then the ability to kind of triangulate, put kids into interventions where they're needed. We had some of this capability with STAR. This is just a new test. It gives us, I think, a greater detail that we can really drill down and help students where they're at. Go ahead, Travis. So this is a view of the quadrants that students fall into. It helps us organize students and meet them where they are and where they need. The upper left, I believe, is where the vast majority of our students, or a high percentage of our students are landing. Low achievement, high growth, which means that we're seeing kids respond to the instruction that we're giving. Along with this new test, we implemented new curriculum in reading and math at the elementary level this year, which is, a lot of new stuff for our elementary staff, and we talked about that a lot. There was a lot of learning for them as a staff in the fall, and I'm sure still as they're, approaching new units and things like that. So we're happy to see that the student growth is where it's at this time of year. Go ahead, Travis. So these are just a snapshot view of where the different levels across the district are at. I'll just read it. Upper elementary, grades 4 through 5. We're seeing strong math outcomes, operations, and algebraic thinking, building a firm foundation for the middle school transition. Middle school, we see stable, sustained growth in both math and reading. High school, continued growth beyond state-mandated testing years. Go ahead, Travis. And this slide just is showing us that there is greater variability at the high school level, and the statement there at the end is naturally you're going to see that because certain students have a proclivity as we get on in the years of school. Some students excel greater in certain areas, and some students still are lagging behind, so that variability changes as they get older. So the real quick low-level view is we're doing well. We're doing about what we hoped we would do with this new thing. There are no big major concerns, but we do definitely have plenty of information to continue and proceed forward. So we're going to continue with refining our current practices and supporting targeted interventions as we're doing right now. Go ahead, Travis. So again, we test one more time with this NWEA in the spring, and once we have that full cycle, we'll have some more data to kind of make predictions and adjustments moving into the fall, and then we'll have a full year of baseline data to continue on and compare to next year. And that's where we'll end it, Travis. Don't forward on to the next slide. I think this is kind of the conclusion of the report right now. We're happy with the results we're seeing in the winter. No big, huge warnings, but definitely we know we have a lot of work to do, and our staff are gearing up. And I've heard from a number of them that they appreciate the wealth of data that NWEA gives. Where STAR, it wasn't as readily available. I see Mrs. Stewart in the back over here. She was really good at drilling down the STAR data over at Elms, but it was harder to access for our teachers. And I've heard with NWEA, it's a little easier to group your kids and start meeting their needs right away. So, I think that's it. Any questions?
Thank you, David. Questions of the board? Thanks, David. Okay. Next agenda item, second round interview questions. Sue, will you help explain this for us? I think we've all done it, except maybe one or two of us. And they came in today, so I don't know.
Yeah, basically, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you have to take a peek at the questions and tell me which ones you want to be asked. And if you look at them, it has like several names after them. Basically, I've heard from Kim, and Kim said she wanted 6 and 11. So if you'd like, you can go down and just tell me which ones you like. And Barry,
if I'm not mistaken,
am I saying
it's 14 questions out of the...
Yes, everybody gets 2, I believe. And
Yes.
and please don't say what the question
Yes,
is,
just a
only
number.
the number.
Yeah, not
That
to
we
give any
have to-
candidate an unfair advantage.
Yes.
So we can start at the very left if Carrie would like. I know we've picked a lot of the same questions, so.
I would like number 5 and number 18, please.
18, you said?
Okay.
Questions?
Andrea?
Hold on, everyone's stealing my questions, so I guess I'm gonna steal one of Kim's. I had 6. I gotta find a different one, Carrie, that was my number 1.
I can go back to you if you want.
Nope, that's okay, I did have a backup one, let me find it. I had a backup. Number 2.
Ken, if you want to write yours down, I don't know if you didn't want any of these, you could write some down
Did you
if
have
you
more
like.
than one? You can have,
I said number 6 and number 2.
6 and 2.
6 is taken by Kim. So sorry.
That's all right. Gary took one, Kim's taking one. All my questions. Okay, hold on. Kim. All right, so I have 2 and 8.
Okay.
Next person, Kim? I'm sorry, Ken? Okay, Kim?
Yeah, it's 6 and 11.
6 and 11. Okay. Jenny?
I think I'm just going to stick with the 2 that I added, so 19 and 20.
19 and 20?
Yep.
Are you good, Sue, so far?
Yes, go right, yep.
Okay, we'll go to me. Number 10. Number 3.
So do you need these back from us tonight?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Autumn?
I'm going to take the same route as Ken. I don't know what that is, but
What's that, right? You picked 2 here.
Yeah.
You want to do those or no?
yeah, I think so. But I don't want to do them if, I don't want any repetitive ones, so I'm going to go through and,
Okay, can look at them.
yeah.
You want to
I-
moment?
I'm just going to, for the moment, be 16 and 17, but I,
Guys, 2 questions.
subject to.
You want to change your mind? You reserve the right to change your mind.
Yes, thank you.
So tentatively, you're 16 and 17.
Pardon?
Now you gotta narrow it down and pick. Here's what's already been picked.
Yeah,
so.
if you could take a peek at them like tonight and let me know.
Yeah, I looked at them before, I just,
Okay.
I'm struggling.
And these are the ones we are gonna ask then, correct?
That's
Ones-
right.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. I relayed the message right to Ken here.
Mr. Ken? Yeah. You went, no?
No, I didn't pick 2 yet.
Well, I know these have to be in this evening, I believe,
Yes.
right? Okay. So what do we have total tentatively? 12 right now, and Autumn may want to change hers this evening?
Yeah, but we never voted on the first round of questions, so I just wonder what differs.
I don't think we're voting on them. We
Yeah.
just get to pick 2 questions or
Yeah.
no vote.
And last time we didn't do that even open, we just kind of said, everybody go home and pick 2 and email them back your response, I guess.
I thought we did it when they ran. so-
No, we did it right here in front of us. They did a matrix and we picked our questions.
No, we just said.
picked ours. We just listed off which ones we wanted,
Yeah.
each picked 2.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing now.
So we didn't even pick 2, Chuck, we wrote questions down.
Yeah.
So, and then when we wrote them down, they weren't put on the form correctly.
Do you just want to write yours down later, maybe? Okay. Okay, we'll go on to board action items. Any other questions by board members so far? Okay, approval of updated athletic handbook. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussion on this. Let's do one at a time.
oh,
You have the floor, Autumn, go ahead.
okay. I know that this happened in the policy subcommittee, but as time goes on, you get more questions sometimes. A question that I have, and I don't see the athletic director here, or, no, okay, we're good. So maybe Wayne, you could answer this.
I can try.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
can
don't
try.
mean to put the pressure on. The changes we made on page 7 and under athletic team management, philosophy of team selection on page 17, I just want to make sure that those 2 things don't contradict each other because, or the philosophy.
So which ones you looking at on?
I'm looking at page
Yep,
17.
On page 7, where we crossed off those things?
Right, we didn't allow for them to make cuts, and then we said on page 17, philosophy of team selection, so the last paragraph on page 17, in accordance with our philosophy of athletics and desire to see as many students as possible participate in the interscholastic athletic programs of our school district, yada, yada. It keeps going. I just, again, so we're allowing cuts, but we want to keep the maximum number of students, but the maximum number of students isn't.
We just didn't list the maximum number of students.
Right.
And what it was before is there said there was a set number. Instead, we took that number out, and it was mainly, the way I took the numbers in the past, would have been for high school sports, would have been the maximum numbers. And so we looked at the back and we looked at the philosophy and allowed them to keep what they wanted to keep on there.
Okay, but still with the intention of, to see as many students as possible participate.
Correct. You try to get as many students as possible.
Okay. It just,
But there's certain levels when you get to varsities, may be tough to do
Yeah.
in certain sports.
I get it. Yeah.
So just for clarification, there are asterisks on page 8 with an underline under them. Is that the way of putting a slash through the asterisk?
Yeah, they're red, so they're getting removed.
Just making sure.
Yes. The asterisks, even though they show under middle school sports only, I think the best, I was told there was some issues with it. They came out in December. So I went to the athletic director and said, we need to look at this. She gave me a copy of this. I made some recommendations, maybe eliminate those asterisks that are there, so eliminate the confusion, and then read the rest of the handbook to make sure everything coincided and worked together, that there wasn't anything that was in conflict.
I just want to make sure.
Yep, and we took this policy committee, and there was a lot of discussion. It was a fairly long period of discussion on this one.
Yeah, about 45 minutes.
We're,
An hour.
And I was told you wanted to make sure that this was done prior to spring sports. So I added in my hands by February 1st and took it to committee at that point, right as the next committee meeting we could, right in February.
okay, so we scratched out the 15-18 player, which is excellent. We got rid of the asterisk. However, glancing over this, do we talk about cuts in here anywhere?
Yeah, page 17 is where it was before. That's what I was saying, I think. Isn't that the only?
It was on 7 before.
Yeah, it's marked out on the top of 7 as
Oh,
well.
just kidding then.
Yeah, we took it off of 7. So
Yes.
Okay.
We took out the piece where it says sports marked with an asterisk because we eliminated asterisk. So we need to eliminate that.
correct.
Oh, okay.
So where do we discuss cuts at?
Not really. It's not really in there.
Right here, what she was just saying is, you want as many kids as possible to be on the team. Coaches it's their discretion, is how I interpret that. They have the discretion to have as many athletes on the team as they need.
And it says the coaches who have to limit the number of athletes who can participate must provide a well-planned written record, structured and unbiased tryout schedule, which allows each athlete the opportunity to do their best. So it doesn't say a set number, it just kind of gives a framework.
So they didn't use the word cut, if that's what you're looking for.
I had a couple things that I noticed. So I know we were making a lot of changes to 7. We moved some abbreviations around. I don't think we still need the specifying the seasons, fall, winter, spring as abbreviations in that section because you have 2 Fs. I don't think anybody would be confused, but I think we still need to remove that seasons part.
Okay, we can do
at the
that.
top of the abbreviations.
The
Because
F,
at
W, and
end-
the S.
Yeah,
we can
because
do
at the
that.
end it tells when
Yep.
each of the seasons are. So
Okay.
having it in 2 places doesn't make sense.
We can do that.
The other thing that I noticed, and it's hard because there's strikeout, and so you're trying to figure out what's old and what's left. And I understand, I do want to see what was there before. The wording, what we ended up with for the passing the classes. So I'm looking at page 10, the second from the bottom paragraph. So it's saying passing 5 out of 6 classes of previous semester. Now, how many classes?
With 2.G.
Yeah. How many classes do high school students take?
6.
That's their full schedule? Okay, that's what I was confused about, I wasn't sure. So that's, okay, all the classes, never mind then. So I thought they had more than 6, and that's why I was kind of confused. I'm like, well, how do we know which 6 are the
They
important
do a
ones?
thing called credit recovery now or something. Where
They have a
Okay.
class called advisory. So
Okay,
it's not
yeah.
a class, it's an hour in their day.
okay.
If reading this, it appears we're basing, for lack of better words, I would say cuts, because it really doesn't say, it just keeps talking about a limited number. And I don't want a number in there, but why did we sugarcoat this? Why, if the child isn't good enough to participate at a varsity level, why don't we just say we're gonna cut them? Because the coach is having tryouts, so is the coach gonna pick the entire group of people trying out we'll just go back and pick on basketball again. Coach wants 13 kids on his or her basketball team, and there's 15 kids. So do we automatically know we're cutting the bottom two? If you're not good enough to play, and I'll pick on my own child, he got cut from the hockey team when he was a freshman. He didn't belong there. He wasn't good enough. He was cut by Dave, and there was no problem with that. But he wasn't cut because of a certain number of children. He was cut because he wasn't good enough. We're dancing around something. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the freshman team with this many kids, the JV team with this many kids, and a varsity team with this many kids, and then we're going to come back to the same topic of, well, they got 15 on the JV team, but we only have 13 here. Why can't we have 15? Because these two kids don't need to be cut. They need to be cut because they're not any good. They're going to waste practice time. They're never going to play. They're going to sit at the end of the bench. Again, why don't we just say we're going to cut kids based on their ability?
Well, it does say coaches will strive to maximize opportunities without diluting the quality of the program. So to me, that says if you're not going to be contributing to the team, you're not going to be on the team.
But it's not saying every basketball team has to have 15 kids.
No, but that's what I'm saying, what we're going to run into next. Is
We
when
don't
we
have
have,
any numbers, though.
Right, but so if it's going to dilute the quality of the program, then the person isn't on the team.
I know what you're saying. 1 year, they got to play as freshmen, but now it's time to play varsity
well,
in
we're gonna have
11th grade.
one
Cut them.
team with X amount of kids, another team with another number of kids. Well, then they're gonna look at the yearbook from last year, and there was 14, and this year there's only 13. Let's just say that the coach has the ability to cut something.
Well, that's what we're
It
saying
is.
there.
It's-
But we're just not using the word cut.
I was a coach for 20 years on a varsity level, and 1 year I might keep 14, the next year I might keep 17, depending on the quality and the skill level that the kids had. And when I kept too many, and my skill level wasn't good at the end, it was a difficult year.
Okay, let's read what it says. Coaches who have to limit the number of athletes who can participate in their program must provide a well-planned written record, structured and unbiased, a tryout schedule which allows each athlete the opportunity to do their best. So we're not basing this on ability, we're basing it on what the coach wants as a number. We're back to the number thing without saying a number.
So would you rather say coaches who want to limit the number of athletes instead of have to?
I don't know.
And again,
We're gonna have someone else walk in our door. I'm telling you. Why don't you just say, if the coach wants to cut someone, they can, the end. Whether it's number-based, whether it's ability-based, whatever. This isn't AYSO soccer. It's high school varsity athletics. Not everybody gets to play. But we're not saying that. We're still coming back to the number. So if the coach wants 13 kids 1 year and 14 another, but the JV coach wants 15, I just think we're a recipe for disaster. Just give the coach the ability to pick the team he or she wants. We're still playing
that entire sentence?
I don't know, but we're still playing the number game. The word number doesn't need to be in there.
Ken, just a quick question, do you see that fitting in parentheses after the sentence that Jenny just read? Because it sounds like, that's kind of what we're communicating in so many words, and you're saying just cut to the chase.
I'm just saying, allow the varsity coach that he or she can establish the roster they want. 1 year they might have 18 kids, the next year they might have 12. But let them establish the roster they want, but when you throw that number in there, someone's gonna play a number game with you.
So if the coach, if we put in parentheses right after that, the coach can make cuts, is that good?
I would say establish the roster which is best for the team.
Okay.
That way, we're not using the words number, we're not saying that, little Johnny didn't have the ability as the rest of the team, which would give them the ability to create the best roster for the team, or something to that effect.
So you would take out the words, who have to limit the number.
Yeah, just,
Coaches are allowed to establish the rest of what you ever said.
yeah, we sat here and got reamed because we didn't want to let a coach cut some kids. So let's just turn the coaches loose and ask them to document it. Like I said, when my kid got cut off the hockey team, he got this nice little piece of paper that had red ink all over it that said he didn't do very well at this, and he went home.
So what are you changing?
So let's make the suggestion so we can move on. What is the wording that you would like changed, Ken?
Just something that the coach has the ability to create or establish the roster they would like.
Okay.
That in the best interest of the team.
Okay, so instead of coaches who have to limit the number of athletes who can participate in their program, you just say coaches who plan to cut?
I don't think we even use the word cut. They can establish the roster that is in the best interest of the team.
Okay, and you're saying that they don't have to provide a well-planned written record structure and embodies?
Yes, they do.
Okay, but I'm just making sure.
They need to let the children know where they need to improve.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but turn the coaches loose. That was the whole gripe. And we still come up with a way to muddy the water.
Yeah, I still don't, because the sentence before says that without diluting the quality of the program. To me, that says they don't have to do anything that's gonna mess up the team. If they don't think it's in the best interest of the team, they don't have to do it.
Okay.
So would you just say the next sentence, if coaches,
In the program, if you look at your varsity basketball program, when I say in the best interest of the program, I'm talking about the freshman and JV team as well. The program is the entire program, which starts in the middle school. Again, we're talking about that particular team.
I got you.
That team, that JV team, that freshman team, that varsity team. We're talking about that team, not the program. Program starts in 7th grade. Well, program actually starts in elementary school, some of it, but, I mean, we know it starts in 7th grade. That's when we start playing team athletics against other competition throughout the county.
Okay, we have.
Whatever you guys decide, I'm gonna vote yes on, but I'm just trying to point something out, okay?
so we can
That's
just
all I'm
take out
saying.
that whole sentence, basically.
No.
I mean, are we just putting more on our
no.
coaches to make them develop a plan?
I think we should just take it back, have Adrian and Jamie look at this again. Because I think we should probably just hold this.
Well, this goes back to my point, I told you I'd be back to,
Yeah, no, I agree.
when do spring sports start?
Right away, if they start in March. My recommendation would be that we would go forward with
And
this
so-
and then review it for the start of next year.
And so here we are, an administrative nightmare again, oh my God, we have to hurry, we need to get this done, and you brought it to the board at 11:55. And I'm not blaming you, Wayne, because long before you were here, this topic was here and it should have been corrected then.
Okay.
And we sat on it, sat on it, and sat on it. And here we are at 11:55, and everyone, well, you need to get this done. Well, we do.
Oh, okay, I understand what you're saying, Ken. Jenny, I'm with you.
I'm gonna beat it up
Why
again
don't-
tonight, Chuck.
I know you are, but in the
I
spirit.
don't know, there's a lot of changes in here though, so maybe we should just.
No, let's.
No, you don't think, okay.
No, I'm not, it's just my suggestion,
I'm with you,
and
Jenny.
it's all board members. Why don't we move it forward because of our spring sports? And then we can make an amendment to it next month. I don't see a big, you know,
After tryouts.
No, not after
What's the
tryouts,
point of
no.
making the amendment?
when's
then?
our next meeting? I think it's early March.
Negative.
Okay, well then we'll sit here and discuss what you guys want changed. This should have been done at committee, it should have been hammered out at committee.
We did hammer
And
it
this should be, okay, well, obviously it's not, because we have 3 or 4 people arguing about it.
Wasn't
They're not
that
arguing
day
about
either.
it. Okay, well, she wasn't
I
there
don't
then.
know what to tell you.
Okay, I'm
It
not,
should have been done months ago, Chuck.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Okay, so again,
It should have been done at policy committee, it should be here, questions should have been asked already, and it should be, unless something, 1 or 2 minor things, and you brought up very valid points. I'm just saying, what do we do now as a group? Let's fix the problem and just move forward.
send it back, let's come back for a special meeting or vote on it Wednesday before we do our stuff.
Make a motion, please. On this.
Motion to postpone it until Wednesday before the second round of interviews, we'll vote on the athletic handbook changes.
You mean this Wednesday?
Bring it back. Maybe-
Postpone it till Wednesday.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor by Ms. Henry to postpone it till this Wednesday, and we can discuss it before the interview for this, or second round interview of candidates, and hopefully you'll have enough time to talk to some people with Ken and get some minor changes. Is that okay with you, Jenny?
Support.
Support by Ms. Fick. Any more discussion on this item? No more discussion? Sue, roll call vote, not that we really need it on this, but please do it.
Jenny Walgast,
Yes.
Chuck,
Yes.
Kim,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Andrea,
Yes.
Autumn,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Next item, approval of MASB Board of Directors Election 2026.
I'd like to make a motion
Yes.
that we nominate, or that we approve Mr. James Johnson, who happened to be with us this evening.
You did. Okay,
I second
thank
that.
you. Carrie, there's a motion to,
Wait,
well, there's a motion and it's been
I'm
seconded.
making another, can I make a motion?
Yeah. No, we have to vote on that motion first. Yeah, and either it passes or it fails, Kim. So, yep, so there's a motion for Mr. Johnson, and was seconded by Andrea Fick. Now we can have discussion if there's some other ideas you have. Go ahead, discussion.
I'm not sure how to say this. I'm not sure how to say this, but I was going to nominate somebody else.
Yeah.
You can discuss it.
I was going to nominate Richard Hill.
Well, if
Well, we need to vote on the current motion.
we have to, yes, I'll take care of that, yeah. We'll have to vote on, she has her discussion point. So with that being said, the motion's on the floor. Any more discussion on Mr. Johnston? No more discussion? Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Carrie Germain,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Jenny Walgast,
No.
Ken Engel,
No.
Autumn Henry,
No.
Kim Winter,
No.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
Motion fails. Okay, further discussion on MSAB Board of Directors election. Go ahead.
May I make my nomination now?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Motion,
like
we're gonna
to-
make a motion to,
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Mr. Richard Hill.
there's a,
No, that wouldn't be the motion.
well, to be elected to MASB.
Select.
Yeah, I'd like
I'll let her
to,
rephrase it.
yeah.
You gonna rephrase your nomination, Ms. Winters?
Yeah, just give me a minute here. I'd like to make a motion to nominate Richard Hill for the MASB Board of Directors election.
There's a motion on the floor to nominate Richard Hill for the MSAB Board of Directors. I know that you had a first kind of motion, but we got a little there, so we'd have to withdraw.
I'm gonna say I'll support it if we can amend it to select instead of nominate. I would support it.
All right, well, then she'll have to withdraw her motion and rephrase it. Is there, so if you're not seconding it, the motion dies, okay? If there's no second, the motion dies.
Okay, then.
There's no second, motion dies. If you want to rephrase your motion, please do so.
Sorry, Kim, I hate to do this. I don't mean to make this.
There's no excuse, yeah, just,
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to elect Richard Hill to the MASB Board of Directors election.
Support.
Board of Directors.
there's support to elect Mr. Hill to the MSB Board of Directors. It's been seconded by Ms. Henry. Any discussion on this person?
Isn't the position the MASB Region 5 representative?
This says Board of Directors election on the front of the packet. And then it says Region 5 on page 3.
So, Mr. Main, on board discussion, you're saying that's an improper motion, because it
I'm
doesn't
just
say the
saying
region?
that our packet includes a motion that says approval of the Swartz Creek Community School District's MASB Region 5 representative.
The actual motion, or the board action items does say that. It doesn't say it on our agenda, though, it's a little bit more vague, but yes, you're correct, Carrie.
So we got to withdraw again and re-say it again? Or what has to be done?
You can vote on it, and it can fail, or you can withdraw the motion, and then it has to be voted on again to withdraw it, I believe.
I'm going to withdraw that motion.
I'm going to second the withdrawal.
Okay, there's no need to. Okay. Still open for discussion on MSB directors.
Okay, I'll try to get this right. Okay, I motion that we select Richard Hill as the Swartz Creek District MASB Region 5 representative. Does that work?
Second.
Okay.
The motion's been made and seconded, motion made by Jenny Walgett, seconded by Autumn Henry. Discussion?
I'll just say,
No discussion? Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Jenny Walgast,
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Carrie Germain,
Yes.
Andrea Fick,
No.
Autumn Henry,
yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes. Motion passes for Mr. Hill. I want to thank you, Mr. Johnson, for coming and representing yourself, and Carmen Ainsworth. Thank you, sir. Okay, next action item, or board action item, will be approval of section 105 and 105C Schools of Choice Board Resolution. And Wayne, you said earlier, you put it on the agenda?
I put this on the agenda. There is nothing in the law that says when we have to have it done, but what I like to do is have it done prior to kindergarten roundup. Wherever I've been in the past, I've been doing this for a few years, we've always approved this in either February or March, depending on when we had kindergarten roundup. If we had it in March, we usually did it in February and so forth. So when people brought their children in, they would fill out the schools of choice application at the same time.
Thank you, Wayne, for the explanation.
And I just
Discussion by board.
I just have a question, Mr. Wright. With the students who are enrolled in our district, they are our students, right? Those students, regardless of what we do with accepting or denying school choice, those students.
Once a child is accepted in schools of choice, either 105 or 105C, they are selected for life, or until they leave the district. We'll say we accepted a child and they were here for 3 years, and all of a sudden they said, I'm going to go back to my home school. So they went back to their home school. Then if they wanted to come back, they'd have to come back under school's choice option again.
All right. I just wanted to be clear, we're not kicking
No,
any students out.
taking nothing away from
Okay,
anybody.
I just want to make sure. Thank you.
It's only new children. This is for new children coming in next year.
I'm glad you brought
Thank
that
you.
up, because there's a lot of rumors going around about that. Thank you, Autumn. Any other discussion?
Wayne, can you, for the public and for maybe some board members, clarify what we're doing currently, so that as we address this?
Currently, you have unlimited schools of choice for 105 and 105C. 105 is we accept any child from any district within your current ISD. So we could accept any child that's within the Genesee ISD. 105C, which is you're also doing, which is unlimited, means that you could accept any child from any ISD that is contiguous or touches Genesee ISD. So we could do Shiawassee, we could do Saginaw ISD, and things of that nature.
Tonight, Wayne, can we address, to solve your situation, and we can talk about this? Can we address kindergartners?
You can.
I think one of the things that I was looking at down the road is trying to balance our classes out. So obviously, we currently have whatever students we have here are enrolled here. They're ours, correct? Be clear at this. Okay. So hypothetically, if the average number worked out in K through 5 to be 265 children per grade, obviously, some of those classes would have less than 265, and some of those classes would have more than 265. So when we're accepting children in the future for class size purposes, which one, creates stability with teachers and teachers' assignment, especially as they start getting into high school and the middle school, correct? So you're not trying to adjust for a large class. So say you've got a class in there that's 290. Obviously, when you want to go to freshman English, you're going to adjust your teachers for freshman English of 290. Just an example.
Yep.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not talking crazy, or any crazier than I usually do. So what I would like to see is boosting up those classes where we're below the 265 and bringing that enrollment up through school of choice, or leveling it out, I think is a better way of saying it, so that maybe in a few years that we would have a more level grade with every grade. Obviously, it's not going to happen in 1 year. So with that thought, come up with an established number for the kindergarten class, so that we can go back and look at, obviously, the numbers in all these other grades. Right now, I think that the document you provided Autumn with today, the average was 264 and a half. So looking at an enrollment to start at for a kindergarten class, fair number would be 265. Obviously, if there's children in our district that would go over that, we would have to go over that. If the children in our district was 220, we would obviously have 45 positions for school of choice children. So, but what we would be doing is trying to create a balanced grade, and obviously if we do that with all the grades, we obviously would be accomplishing two things. We would be leveling out our classes. We wouldn't be overloading the classes that are already big. So for instance, a 5th grade teacher has to have 33 kids in each class, but yet the smaller 4th grade class only has 28. That's what I'm looking to accomplish, is that we eventually get to a number where teachers are knowing what they're going to get each year, and we have a controlled enrollment. Because right now, when you look at it, and I looked at it, what I called Travis and got the current numbers a few weeks ago, and we are high and low in different places. So to me, it would be nice to try to level that out. Maybe staff doesn't care, maybe it's not necessary. But if we could establish a number that's an average, then that, to me, that would help with creating normal class sizes for the teachers and classes moving forward as the children work their way up to the high school.
Couple things with that I'll speak to. First of all, kindergarten, it's impossible to figure out because we'll have a lot of parents not enroll their children until the week before school starts, so we have no idea what it is. You can go to what we call limited schools of choice, but if you go to limited schools of choice, you have to shorten your window. If you do unlimited schools of choice, you have an unlimited window, which means that you can go up to, I believe, the first Friday that you have school. It used to be the first Friday after Labor Day, but I think it's now the first Friday that you have school. You could keep it open to. You could shorten it if you would like. If you do a limited schools of choice, you have, I believe it's a 3-week window is what you can have. And the other issue with that is if I get a family that comes in, they got a second, fourth, and a sixth grader, and we're willing to take second and fourth graders, but not sixth graders, you lose the whole family, because they're not gonna bring 2 here and move 1 to another district, keep 1 in the other district.
I totally agree with that, and that's a shame, but in the same breath, I'm also not overcrowding an already overcrowded class. I would like to see as much stability, grade for grade, as possible. You know, and that's, to me, I mean, all we ever hear is, I've got too many kids in my class. Well, if we have a big class, guess what? You're not gonna hire a new teacher for 10 kids or 15 kids, so you're gonna pack that class, and that teacher could have, I think we actually pay a stipend, don't we, for overcrowded classes?
We do.
Yeah, so I mean, we're already preparing for it because we know it's happened. I would like to try to eliminate not so much the stipend end of it, but having an overcrowded class, where we would know from year to year to year what we need. And I don't know if that's possible, but, you know, right now, the numbers, when you look at them, they're all over the place. And I do think this is something that would be worthwhile. Or we can just keep, you know, we can accept the whole family and we can overcrowd an already overcrowded grade. And then we'll overcrowd a classroom for teachers. So I would like, you know, in my perfect world, we would have maybe, like, depending on the grade, obviously, elementary school, for instance, you know, 28 kids in everyone's class, not 33 in this one. And we can also balance out a little bit better, because you're gonna have room, you can balance out IEPs fairly amongst the teachers. One teacher don't have 6, other one have 2. I mean, these are things that I hear from teachers as complaints or concerns. So I'm trying to find a way to maybe help that out. Because those are things over the years. I mean, mind you, my oldest children are in their 40s, so I've been putting kids through this school district for decades, not a year or 2. And I've watched a lot of teachers who have already retired talk about this same topic. So I'm trying to look at a way to corral that and level out our grades. It's not possible, but I think there's some things we can do to level it out a little bit.
I do know one thing, when they move from grade to grade, we'll say 3rd graders move to 4th grade, when they move them and they assign them to classes, they level the number of special ed students in any one class. All of them don't go to one class. They kind of, if there's 8 in the class and there's 3 classrooms, they're going to be 3, 3, and 2.
Okay.
That would be what the principals would do. And a lot of times, wherever I've been, I've had the teachers sit down and with cards, and they look at the number of girls, the number of boys in the class. They have pink cards and blue cards, so they have the same amount, somewhat similar to the number, so that all one's gender goes to each grade and so forth. They do the same thing with special ed and so forth.
I understand. I think in theory, that is very accurate. I think in reality, it's not so accurate. Again, I've listened to building principals for a long time around here. And teachers, that's not exactly how it always goes. Maybe how it should go, but it's not. So, again, we're giving ourselves room to me, and I'm gonna use maybe a poor choice of words, but to budget a classroom in the best interest of the children to learn and create a number of children in a classroom and not have overcrowded classrooms. I watched it when I was here last time on the board, and, you know, again, 6 kids went through this building. I've watched it for a long time. I bet the oldest ones were here before most of your teachers were here.
stability, really. That's the way I'm kind of seeing it. I don't know if I'm,
Well, maybe what I'm asking for isn't possible, but I would like to see us try to do it. And if it means we gotta turn a family away because we can't take one of their children, so be it. But we also are doing a benefit for our students that are here and our staff. And no, I'm not trying to get on the staff's good side. I'm not, I'm just looking at it from education for kids. Is if you want, there should be as much stability grade to grade, year to year. Nobody should be in an overcrowded classroom. So that's it. If it's not doable, just tell me and we can maybe look at, but I would like to talk about this topic before we just vote on it tonight, if it doesn't have a dying date.
If you wanted to have just this discussion tonight, we could always bring this back on the next one. I can give you a list of, and I have it back in my office, of how many students are in every classroom right now. In every K through 6 classroom, I have a list of how many, for every teacher, how many students they have.
Okay.
I do have that, and I could bring that to you.
I would like us to have a conversation about this and see if there's a way to take a number in stability. I mean, we have 2 crowded schools that sit on the east side of the district, and we have 2 that sit on the west side. One's basically empty, and the other one's well underfilled. So, you know, when we move students here, maybe we tell parents, hey, look, we're gonna take your children, but they're gonna have to go out to Gaines, or they're gonna have to go to D. You know, so if that's making it limited, or we can just keep overcrowding Elms and Morrish. I don't think that makes any sense. They're busting at almost 450 kids, and you got Deacon a little over 300. So that's crowded cafeterias, that's crowded bathrooms, that's crowded classrooms. To me, this doesn't make a lot of sense.
That was part of the discussion we've had in the reconfiguration, is that they would allow a certain amount in each building. We were going to try to even the buildings out. We could, when new schools of choice children come in, say, you're going to be assigned to Deke, you could be assigned to Cyrene, or...
But wouldn't that be limiting?
No, that's not limiting. If you said, we'll accept them, they can go to, but we can accept them and place them in a certain building. We're not limiting them.
Because because I can already tell you my opinion on the reconfiguration. We're gonna take children out of Elms, and we're gonna take children out of Morrish, which is gonna create vacancies, and we're gonna come right back, and that's where we're gonna reload that and have overcrowding there again. I really see that's happening. I would like to see us have a steady number per grade throughout the district.
Well, that's one of the things we're looking to do, Ken, is that we don't want to make sure that we got 33 in one classroom. We're trying to even them as much as we can. We may not get Gaines to be anywhere near level with the rest of the buildings. The other 4, I don't expect that to take place. Hopefully, we could get some students to come back that have left us, that went to the west of us. Maybe some of those will come back because we want to get rid of the splits.
So what do you need from us tonight to deal with the kindergarten situation?
The kindergarten situation, we're having kindergarten roundup, I believe, in April. We're going to be going out at the, and have it at that time. If we don't prove it tonight, I have to have it approved, I think, by March. And trying to get to your piece of making sure you have plenty of time to chew on this. That's what I'm trying to do right now, is making sure you have plenty of time to chew on this.
Okay. So we can postpone it to our next meeting?
You can if you'd like.
Doesn't create a problem for you?
No, it does not.
I
put it on because I need to get discussion, see where we're going to go with it, and see what direction to go.
Well, he gave you notice. He gave you notice.
Yeah, he's a really good administrator. That's why we hired him. I'd like to make a motion to postpone the topic of school of choice at this time and bring it back to the next meeting.
I'll second that.
To the next meeting or March? Not Wednesdays, right?
No, not Wednesdays, next regular board meeting.
Next regular.
There's a motion on the floor to table this, or postpone it to the next regular school board meeting in March. And, I'm sorry?
Kim did.
Kim seconded the motion. Sue, roll call vote, please.
Do we get discussion?
Sure. absolutely, I'm sorry. I
no,
thought we were
no.
discussing it before
Well-
we got to it. But go
Well,
ahead.
no.
We had a lot of
Is there-
discussion. Go.
Yeah. Is there a particular committee where this would be appropriate?
That's what I was thinking.
Well, why don't we take the vote, and then we can ask if we want a committee?
Well, I was just wondering if there were.
I think
any
it's okay.
existing
It's okay.
committees that it-
There is no existing committees.
Okay.
There is none. There should be. We should have an audit of the district. That's the way you figure out what your school of choice should be. It could be done at finance, but there needs to be an audit. That way you can figure out teachers' ratio versus student ratio.
Because that's why I just wanted to bring it up now, is rather than.
Because if you, yeah, okay, discuss. If you have unlimited school choice, a couple hundred kids coming extra in kindergarten, then you gotta hire more teachers, more support staff. And that's a breaking point, if you look at school choice, is that if, and this is what the district didn't do 10 years ago, if you have 100 teachers, and they each have 21 kids in the district, you can listen to this, because I wasn't here then, and you say, we're gonna open up school of choice, then you put in 4 or 5 kids per classroom, that way you're not overloading and hiring more teachers. That's the breaking point that people keep talking about numbers. So if you have 100 more kids come in, then you have to hire 4 to 5 teachers, have to have 4 or 5 staff. We should do an audit. And if you have a committee to do an audit, then that's the way they did it. When they opened it up, we're at 1,000 kids now. We have 2,400 kids, so 29% of our kids are school of choice. And I don't know what the breaking point is. I don't know what the audit would say, but there should be an audit before any decision's made by this board. That's my discussion.
Do we have to approve that?
Well, okay, so that, yeah.
No,
that
we can
was
do it
my-
at a committee. Jenny's right, we can do it at some committee, we can make it up,
So
make a committee up.
my reason for bringing it up now is rather, before we vote on whether to delay this or not, I would like to have a plan so that we don't go to the next meeting and be sitting here saying, okay, we pushed this ahead, we haven't had any action. So I just want to make sure that I know what our plan of action is before we say that we're delaying. That's my only point for bringing it up in discussion right now.
A suggestion would be you could make a motion after this, to add it to the agenda, to make a committee.
Well, is that
We
what
need
we?
a
You can do that.
Okay.
I'm just saying, we gotta vote on the motion that's currently on the floor. And if you want to amend it, then you would have to get Ken to withdraw.
I'm just saying, it would affect my vote on this. I would not
Okay.
say to postpone it if we don't have a plan, because then we're gonna postpone it, and we're still not gonna have a plan, and we're still not gonna be doing anything different next month than we're doing right now. So I would like to just figure out.
What's the rule on when you have to vote on it? There is no rule. I know some districts vote on it in June.
In what, schools of choice?
Yeah.
I don't think they vote that late because of kindergarten piece. But there is no date on when you have to do it.
There's no law or date.
It's no law that says that you have to accept schools of choice in February, March, April, wherever. You just have to do it sometime if you're going to take schools of choice.
So couldn't we talk about it at next month's academic achievement?
I'm not sure why you're doing this motion, because you don't have a motion on the table to approve. It's
have a
on the
motion to
agenda.
delay it.
It's on the agenda,
Is it-
but it isn't, but there's been no motion made to enact it yet.
Well, it wasn't
That's an action.
action, so we're
Action.
taking the action of
Item, but
postponing.
it was never made a motion.
No, but we're taking the action to postpone versus approve or reject.
Okay, I see what you're saying, Wayne.
Jimmy, I think my part on this is it's not gonna die. Wayne's gonna get it to a committee, or maybe several committees, and we'll all be able to talk on it and throw stuff around. And when we bring it back, we can vote on it. Because my topic here is no intent to eliminate it. My topic in here is to
Figure it out.
to come up with some things that structure our district, that there's consistency throughout each grade. That's mine. And so, you know,
And we've already got the 1,000 children that are gonna stay here. I mean, if they so choose. They could go to another district.
Okay, so we'll discuss this in various committees.
Well, yeah, we're going to address it, because usually it gets done in March or April. I think last year we didn't do it to the first meeting in April, actually, which may be late, because Wayne said when he put it on the agenda, yeah, it was then, yeah, that he wanted to address it earlier rather than later.
Would academic achievement be the place we could discuss this? Because Jenny's right, we don't want to come back here next month with no discussion taking place.
I would say,
Or should we have a special meeting to
No, I think you do it in academic achievement.
I would say even finance
Or policy?
yeah.
I would
Well,
think maybe-
policy, we're swamped. I know
Annual.
academic achievement is swamped.
I know.
And so I'm saying maybe,
There is a motion on the floor, ladies and gentlemen. I know it may not have been because we didn't vote on the action item, Wayne, but there is a motion on the floor and it was seconded. Let's address that, please.
Can we repeat the motion, please?
I think I have it.
Sue, did you have it written down?
Well,
I can do it, yeah.
I think I have it.
Yeah.
Motion was made by Ken Engel, supported by Kim Winter, to postpone the 105C School of Choice 2026, 2027 until the next scheduled board meeting on March 25th, 2026.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Sue, roll call.
Carrie Germain.
Yes.
Kim Winter.
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Jenny Waugust.
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
Autumn Henry.
yes.
7 yes.
Motion passes 7-0. And Jenny, I suggest if you want to make at least a comment about that.
Yeah, so I mean, do we need I know we need more committees like a whole head, but do we need a special committee for this?
I don't think we do because it's a one-time decision. I would say it would fall under finance if there has to be a survey or, what did you say, an audit?
Just an audit, so
Done.
we know where we're at.
Yeah, then maybe
On classroom sizes,
Are you
that
okay
addresses
with
Ken's, yeah.
handling it in either operations or finance, or,
So,
I know,
do you want to take it into finance, Ken?
Wherever you want to go with it, I don't care.
Yeah, that works.
yeah, I would say
Okay.
finance works.
Okay, let's move on. Adoption of Swartz Creek High School Student Registration Guide 2627. And will you take the podium, please? I'm going to use the restroom. Jenny? Thank you.
Do you want to?
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, yeah. Does the board want a break?
Yeah.
Ken, Andre, do you guys want a break?
Sure.
Okay, we'll take a 3-minute break. We'll take a 3-4-minute recess. It's 8:11. We'll be back at no later than 8:20. Thank you. I think everybody's met. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's on. It's 8:17, 2 minutes late. We'll continue on with the adoption of the Swartz Creek High School Student Registration Guide. Discussion from any board members or motions?
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the high school registration guide, 2627.
Okay, there's a motion by Mr. Main to adopt the high school student registration guide. And we can do that on the resolutions on the backside. Is there any?
I'll second her motion.
Seconded by Kim. I guess I can do this separate then. Be D. Adopt, I'm doing it not the way that Sue wants me to do it. I've been doing it as we go. Yep, adoption of Swartz Creek High School Student Registration Guide 2026. Be it resolved that Swartz Creek Community School Board of Education approves adopting the Swartz Creek High School Student Registration Guide as presented. Mr. Main made the motion. It's been seconded by Mr. Engel. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Jenny Walgast.
Yes.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
Autumn Henry.
Yes?
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
Harry Jermaine.
Yes.
Kim Winter.
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you, Sue. Motion passes.
Real quick, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
At the next academic achievement, Carrie, can you ask if this truly needed to be done tonight? And if it did, can we move this to January instead of February on the Strawman calendar? And then that way we're not rushing it, just in case we ever have we want to kick the can down the road. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, next action item, our board action item will be VLC, I'm sorry, I misspoke myself. Adoption of the VLC course guide.
I make a motion that we adopt the VLC course guide 2627, and I would ask Mr. Wright, is it appropriate for us to just do it as written, or should we make a consideration for the addition of the American Sign Language? If in fact that works out for them.
I would accept it as written, and if we need to make an amendment someplace later down the road, we can add American Sign Language to it.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second your motion.
Motion's been seconded by Andrea Fick. Any further discussion by board members?
Yeah, I just had a question. Carrie, can you refresh my memory on this one? When we had in academic achievement, when this was being presented, it was stated that, and I don't want to misspeak, but I'm just trying to get clarification, that the general electives, it wasn't that necessarily all of them were going to be offered. It was just, she was kind of going to see how many kids, depending on interest, were going to be offered this year.
I believe that what she provided to us did not mean that students would sign up for it.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just to have in case.
Right, in case they wanted it.
Okay, all right, just to offer it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, adoption of the VLC guide 2627. Be it resolved that the Swartz Creek Community School Board of Education approves the VLC course guide 2026-2027 as presented. Roll call vote, please, Sue.
Autumn Henry.
Yes.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
Kim Winter.
Yes.
Harry Jermaine.
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
Jenny Walgast.
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
7 yes.
Next board action item will be VLC participation in high school sports. Who put this on the agenda? I'm sorry.
This was supposed to be done on February.
That was supposed to be done, that's what you called me on the other day, right? And said that would need to be done ASAP.
We've got to do it one way or the other, yes.
Yeah, and Ken
We don't have a choice.
discuss this, yes.
We have that form that we have to send back to the MHSAA.
Go ahead,
With the
Ken.
numbers.
Go ahead, Ken, what?
I thought you were gonna bring this up about the rush.
Well, again, yes, I said there was 4 items, this is another one. They should have been brought to us back in January. It actually was due, I called the Michigan High School Athletic Association for my own little research. It was due February 11th, and there was approximately 100 school districts that still had not done it. We were one of them, so we're not alone. But, you know, again, we are a school district, and we penalize children for not turning things in on time, and if people didn't get their paycheck, they would frown on that as well. So, again, I will beat the proverbial dead horse. Our administrators have to do better. This is an administrative issue. And again, I cut Wayne some slack because he has just gotten here. This is something that is done all the time. I watched it for 2 superintendents, and here we are again. So now we're gonna have a topic that needs to be done, that should have been done the 11th, and if we don't agree on something tonight, then we're gonna kick the can down the road again, and, well, you know, you guys should have got that done. No, you should have brought it to us. You're the leader. You're the person. In this case, I'm gonna directly go to the athletic director, and I'm gonna go to the building principal at the high school. Those are the 2 parties that should have had this here. I'll quote Ross Perot, it's like the crazy ant in the closet. Everyone knows she's there, but no one apparently wants to talk about her. We should have been talking about this. It should have been before today. So there, I beat that up, so now let's get to the topic.
Okay. Well, can we make a motion? Is that?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to include VLC participation in high school sports.
There's a motion on the floor by Autumn Henry that we let VLC participate in high school sports. It's been seconded by Ms. Wilgast. Further discussion on that motion?
What are the implications of adding VLC students to our numbers, Wayne? I know you're a former athletic director.
What it does is MHSAA looks at the number of students that can participate in high school sports, and then they break everything down into divisions. Football, they'll break down to 8 divisions. Basketball, they break into 4 divisions, and so forth. By adding the 100 children, it may push us up into the top bracket of football, which means we would be playing, could be playing Davison and Grand Blanc if we're into the high school playoff, if we get into high school playoffs. It could, if, I don't know what the numbers are, how close we are at the limits in any of the other sports. Because what they do is they'll take how many schools sponsor wrestling, how many schools sponsor softball, how many schools sponsor baseball, and everything right down the line, and then they break them into even number of teams in each bracket.
So the requirements to pass through classes and maintain 2 point would apply
It
as
takes
well?
the number of children that you have in the building, whether they're eligible or not.
But if they were eligible, they would still have...
If we have the high school enrollment is, and I'm gonna make up a number, we'll say the high school enrollment is 830, doesn't make any difference if 50 of them aren't eligible, they still count in your number. And so if you add VLC, if there's only 3 kids that are eligible, you count the enrollment of VLC.
But the
And that
student
has
would
to
have to then abide by the eligibility requirements that this...
They have to abide by the eligibility requirements that you have established, that's correct.
So I want to throw out a figure. So when my son was a junior, and Wayne, we can verify this for sure, but I believe the number was 33 students from the first semester to the second semester ended up at the VLC because they were failing out their junior year. So they moved them. So those kids are not eligible. So they get over, I mean, they're not eligible to play. We move them over there. So why would we then even consider those kids to be part of the count when they're, and I'm not saying all the kids, I'm just saying that as a number, and I remember asking that number, and it's been 2 years, so, but I asked that number because I saw a lot of the kids, like, falling out of the high school. And I will actually try to find that number and confirm it, but I believe it was 33 that went over there, so they wouldn't even be eligible anyways.
Well, I can speak on that. That's not the only reason kids go to the VLC. Kids go to the ELC, or the VLC. We don't have a strict enrollment process of you have to be failing, you have to only be here for credit recovery, you only can come here, like, for discipline. Anybody can choose to go there.
Absolutely. I'm just saying that's 33 kids that had to go there because they were failing, so there are 33 kids over there that aren't even eligible to play sports. It's a pretty big number, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, how many kids at the high school aren't eligible to? I mean, I imagine there still are kids, they're still in the district.
So
So
how
it
many
doesn't
kids
matter
are-
which bucket you put them in, they're still our kids, and they're still either passing their classes or failing their classes. Just shoving them over to the VLC and then just not counting them doesn't seem like it's legitimate either.
Well, I'm not saying they weren't counted, but they are ineligible because they're failing and had to go to the VLC.
But I have to agree with Autumn. For those students that aren't eligible, there could be just as many who are. We can't just say that that's the only reason somebody goes there is because.
No, it's not.
you know.
I said that very clearly. That's not why they all go there. I'm just saying that was one specific example that I saw of students, and one of them, I'm sorry, let me fast forward, not from his class, but there was a student this last summer that worked out with the football team all year, thinking he was going to be able to play sports. He should have been a senior by all accounts. Didn't have enough credits to even be halfway through his junior year. So I get that there is an incentive to want to be in sports, but there are students over there that need to make sure they're applying and getting their credits up. Does anyone know how many kids from the VLC want to come back and play sports? Because we've had this conversation before too.
Yeah, I know of 8 off the top of my head, but that's just me.
Out of how many total students there?
There's about 97 over there, almost 100, so that's 8%.
Hear from the community.
Let me give you some numbers, and when I'm saying this, I'm not being sarcastic. I'd like you to write this down so that this is from Tricia at the Michigan High School Athletic Association, okay? So write down A, B, C, and D. Those are your 4 classes okay? All right. Currently, Swartz Creek, this year, what we used from last year's count, Swartz Creek had 973 children at the high school, okay? Cut off at an A school for every sport except football. Every sport. Baseball, tennis, golf, whatever. Go by the A, B, C, and D. Everyone except football. Football goes 1 through 8 divisions. The current for Class A cutoff this year was 788 and up. So for every sport, we were at 973. So for the sake of argument, we're 200 kids over anyway. So whether the VLC had 10 kids or 200 kids, it doesn't make any difference. We're 200 above last year's, or this current year's numbers. Okay, everyone clear on that? Okay, I'm not trying to be, like I'm talking down to anyone. So then when you go to football, this year, we were in Division III. If you add roughly 100 kids, it would have moved us up to Division II, which I can't tell you who all's in Division II, but I can promise you it wouldn't have included the big 2 in Genesee County. It wouldn't have counted Grand Blanc because they're both well over 2,000. So my first question is, every child at the VLC didn't go there we all agree on that, for poor academic issues. Some let go by choice. Some we actually put there. And every child over there's parents are paying taxes. And should we take that right away from them if they wanted to play a sport, if they wanted to be a cheerleader, whatever? That's the one question. The other question is, when it comes to sheer numbers, has anyone ever sat and went, what percentile of children at the high school actually play a sport compared to those who do not? We discussed it, it's floating, what did someone say, 8 or 10%?
Yeah, that's what we say.
Okay, 8 or 10% at the VLC. Have we ever asked that number at the high school? Because we know a bunch of those children all play multiple sports. So that's my thing. We're not affecting any sport except football. That's the only one this is affecting. So I guess we're gonna weigh out football versus children.
Well, not only that.
Or
hold on, he has something.
For their, the children over there with their ability to play a sport. You know, I don't know. You know, my motto in life is this: treat everybody the same all the time. We're all happy or we're all mad, but we're all in the same boat. So, but those are your numbers. Those came from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, and they are current numbers. And again, this was due on the 11th, so it's already late. And again, we had 2 topics tonight that we probably, if we wanted to have an intelligent conversation with them, because I think we were schooled a couple meetings ago on Adrian's resume. Maybe we should have our athletic director here for these kind of conversations. And have it, but those are the numbers. You're affecting one sport, and it will affect them.
If they make
I mean, it
playoffs.
will affect them. When you start playing bigger schools, you're getting more competition. I'm not saying that moving from Division III to Division II isn't a big deal. It is something to be considered, but at what cost to everybody else?
Okay, thank you, Ken. I was gonna say that, I know it affects our football, and that's it. So with that being said, let's move on. Let's do roll call. I'm sorry, Andre, you want
No,
to?
I was gonna say, I don't think we should make the decision on it, say, hey, you can get football or not, who we play. I was just pointing out a fact of a lot of kids I see go that was ineligible. So as long as we're sticking to those rules of eligibility, and I know there was a rule in there too, that they still had to get permission from maybe their coach over there, their life coach at the VLC. Is there something else, I believe, that was in there that they had to,
In the athletic handbook?
in the VLC handbook?
I think it's in the VLC.
Well, why would it be in the VLC handbook if we didn't allow them to play?
This was an issue that was brought up about 9 months ago, and it was a pretty heated discussion. I mean, I know it's not a lot of VLC students, so I understand it puts us in a higher class for one sport. But if we got a couple kids over there that maybe, for whatever reason, are going there, and they're either in district or out of district, they should be able to play sports. I don't think it's fair to those kids. It's almost singling them out, and you're punishing them. That's my opinion. I just think we should move on, and let's call a vote to it. Is everybody okay? Yeah. And I don't remember what the VLC book says. I mean, I have it in front of me, but we can't remember everything. If we come across that problem, Andrea,
No, that's
we'll
okay.
take care of that.
I would, like I said, I 100%, I mean, I had a.
And I believe, and I don't want to quote it, it was Jim said that he would address it and try to take care of it for those several kids we had over there. So let's let the kids play if they so do.
No, for sure.
I think I don't mean to interrupt, but I think we have somebody here from the VLC, if you need to ask anything.
Come on up.
I mean,
real quick.
Head of VLC.
Can the kids play as long as they're qualified? Is there anything in the VLC handbook that says they cannot?
Oh, well, like Autumn said, I don't remember it being in there, but I would have to check again.
Right.
But when you're talking about the different numbers, we do have, Andrea, 32 students right now who are there referred for credit recovery, so that's about 32%. But we do have 11 students who are out of district that we talked about. We do have...
It was good.
I'm quick on the spot. 2% for behavioral issues. So that's when, Kim, you were talking about the behaviors, we have 2% of high schoolers that were sent for that. So I do think just how you guys were saying about how we're excluding them, and I'll tell you that the atmosphere at the VLC, especially in the fall when I started, was that they knew they were different than all of our schools. You know, like we couldn't even, lunch was given to them, but now we're able to walk to the middle school to get their own lunch. We just got permission to go to the library in the middle school. So just thinking about that in consideration, but
We want to keep them all the same as long as they have some other
the
issue.
eligibility is there, yep, and we did a survey with the students, asking like what sports they wanted to play. I have the survey results, I sent it to me, and I apologize if I missed the beginning of the meeting, so I don't know if it was already said, but I can go over that with you too. Is there
I think
other?
we're good.
So, on this note of, and this is a different topic, but maybe just something we need to talk about, is the inclusion. And I appreciate that, because again, I've seen students really want to come and play the sport, and then, oh, you can't because you're VLC.
Yeah.
And they, trust me, not eligible anyways, and I tried to give all the encouragement I could. Step it up, I'm gonna call and make sure you do homework, whatever. But what about dances? I mean, maybe that's something we need to discuss going forward as well.
Well, right now
They're
they're
just there
allowed-
for credit recovery. Are they allowed to go to dances?
They are allowed to go to dances, and this is where to get approval comes in. So the high school principal and myself give approval, and we look at their discipline, and we look at their grades. Have they been on Momentum? Have they been doing what they're supposed to be doing, their pacing guides? And then we sign for approval. So they are able to go to the dances if they meet the approval.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for your input.
No problem.
Thanks.
Anything else,
Okay.
you just let me know.
Any other further discussion? Sue, roll call vote.
Wait, can we read the motion?
Okay, you want to?
Wait, there was
It was real
to
simple.
allow. I just.
It was what I
sorry,
said
It was
originally.
like 40 minutes ago.
Okay, VLC participation in high school. Be a result that Swartz Creek Community School Board of Education.
Was it to allow students
To allow
participate?
students.
Yes, I didn't know which way
Okay.
you guys are gonna
Yes.
go. Yeah.
Thank
To
you.
allow students to
Dude.
play sports. If they meet the eligibility.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Jenny Walgast,
Yes.
Andrea Fick,
Yes.
Carrie Germain,
yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Autumn Henry,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey,
Yes.
Ken Engel.
Yes.
Thank you, motion passes. Okay. We'll move on to public comment. We move that up because we have a closed session. It'll probably be a little lengthy, so we'll give everybody 3 minutes for public comment. Please come up, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes. Okay, thank you, public, for enduring with us a long time. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Johnson, oh, no, you weren't. Okay, I'm sorry.
Josh Davis. Chuck, I'm glad you filed a lawsuit. In my eyes, you had no other option. I don't know if a lawsuit can undo the reputational harm and financial impact they've caused you and your business, but you have every right to sue these people, and I'm glad you're doing it. I hope the young basketball player who was cut from the varsity team sues this district too. By amending the handbook to allow cuts, you're admitting that the coach and the AD had no right to cut him when they did. What was the result of that investigation, and what consequences is Coach Root and our athletic director facing for talking to the team about the situation and then telling them not to tell their parents what they said to them? Originally, my main purpose to talk about tonight was all my complaints that I've submitted over the last 18 months. Not just about the wrongdoing by a couple of board members, it's about a message that this district sends to our community, and especially to our students, when there are no consequences for admitted violations of law and policy. I'll start with Andrea Fick and Holly Jarvis breaking Michigan's Open Meetings Act policies, and both of them admitting to it with no repercussions. They both admitted to texting each other during an important vote regarding the last bond proposal. Andrea then goes on to lie about what was said in the text conversation when trying to justify her actions at a subsequent meeting. There was no response to my complaint and no investigation, even though their actions cost taxpayers of this district $38.8 million. I think there was a woman at the start of the meeting that brought up conflict of interest, but she didn't talk about all the conflicts. I'd like to touch on 2 more. Andrea admitted that as a realtor, she's lost money as a realtor because of the mega site. Is that not a conflict? Carrie, did you investigate that at all? No. You were too busy investigating Autumn for conflict, not because of financial interest, but because her great aunt and uncle lived within the mega site. And with Jamie Cohen, our superintendent of finance, was she investigated for her conflict after selling her house to the mega site and signing an NDA, while at the same time negotiating the sale of Morris Elementary behind the community's back? No, she was not. She was also not held accountable for withholding documents from the board, documents that were addressed to the board. Mr. Ray, if you did anything before you leave, would you please fire Jamie Cohen? Lastly, the destruction of public documents. Andrea sat at the dais and ripped up notes after I told her I would be FOIA requesting them. Not just her notes, but a note handed to her by Carrie Germain too. They can both claim that they were personal, but that's not how the law works. We'll never know what those notes were because she destroyed them and subsequently told the district FOIA coordinator that she shreds everything she doesn't need anymore. That's another violation because Michigan has the document retention law for public bodies.
20 seconds.
She broke MCL 750-491 by destroying public documents. Did you say I'm out of time?
Or 20 seconds.
I'll skip to For a long time, I've wondered why these two criminals are allowed to sit on this dais with the smug looks on their faces and act like they're untouchable. I think the answer is because they are untouchable. They've admitted to violating policies and laws, admitted to attending secret meetings, and admitted to misleading the board and community when questioned about it, yet nothing has happened.
Yeah, Mr. Davis, thank you. Mr. Johnson.
Yes, thank you for sparking my desire to speak. I would just like to thank the board for their support and also thank you for your comments that you spoke to me silently. I appreciate that, so when I'm back here in 3 years, that I can gather more support true from the heart. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Hi, my name is Stacy Williard. I would like to start, because I don't want to miss this opportunity, to say that we have 4 children that have gone through Swartz Creek Community Schools. My oldest is works in wind turbines. My daughter is at Grand Valley State University getting ready to apply for dental school. My 3rd child is at University of Michigan in the grad program. And our youngest is doing very well academically. She's about to graduate. So I wanted to take this time and all this negativity to say to the teachers, the administrators, Adrian Trepetowski's done a fantastic job. Our coaches do fantastic jobs. My kids have been involved in everything, and everyone has done a wonderful job, and my kids are doing great. So I just want to say that when all this negativity, there are people on this community that see that, and we appreciate it very much. I would like to also remind the board that these educators are experts. We wouldn't go to a hospital and pretend that we know how to run it. So we shouldn't be telling our educators how to do this to the extent that we are. So we need to be, that's just one thing I wanted to say. My first question is so this isn't quite so positive, but I wanted to change to, what is the status of the investigation regarding the FOIA emails that Krista Mata brought forward? That's very concerning to me. Is there an investigation? Is there a timeline for when that's going to be presented? Those allegations were very strong and very damning, and I, as a community member, they're very concerning. So I would like to know what the status is, if there's a timeline. I'm also concerned why Mr. Mulkey wasn't placed on administrative leave when this was brought forward, or terminated. In those situations, that's some pretty concerning racial language and sexual language that I'm very concerned about. I just want to remind the board that our neighboring communities, our community, and most importantly, our students are watching this. And right now, it kind of seems like it's being swept under the rug, and that's very concerning to me. Thank you. Can I ask for answers for that, or is that something that's not? Can't have answers. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was brought up earlier, though, about that investigation. Oh, not the, okay.
Can it be put on the agenda for the next board meeting, or something that is, I don't understand the process, but.
Discuss. And I can also answer to why I wasn't terminated. It's because he's a board member and he can't be terminated. Okay. That's not how it.
Is there a recall process?
Yeah, there.
Okay.
The Genesee County might be able to advise you on that one,
Okay.
or
Okay,
maybe somebody who's went through it before.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Michael Ovsenik. I have 2 students who actually go to school here. As you heard earlier, your president is suing in court 2 current members of the board, 2 current employees, 2 former employees. Just want to say how crazy that is. Some people might think it's good. It definitely shows how toxic the environment is here. Why would a teacher want to come here or an administrator if they think they're going to get sued because somebody doesn't like them? We know it's a conflict of interest, yet you guys are still voting on stuff with this person. It's not normal. It needs to be publicized. Something needs to happen. You guys need to be brave about this stuff and not just, okay, whatever happens, happens. You should Google the gentleman, Ken Janzarek, I think is how you say it. The district that he led went over 500 days without a contract for their teachers, for their union. And you guys chose that person, okay? There was numerous union violations that were reported against him. Township people, like people on the township board, were thrown out of their meetings by the cops Their board president resigned during a meeting, which is cool if you know, it could happen, that would be awesome, but they resigned during a meeting and left. So this guy is coming here and we already have all of this chaos, confusion. Last meeting or whenever you guys said, we don't understand the matrix, we're not gonna use it. Now you have two candidates and one of them, like I said, had a district with over 500 days without a contract for their union teachers. Over 60 teachers left that district during his 2 years or whatever he's been there. And they're a small district. And you guys chose that guy. So when you go against best advice, when you ignore experts, which you guys do all the time, this is what happens.
Thank you, sir.
Brian Bender, class of 1982. To mirror and copy a couple other statements, it would be nice if we could get some resolution to some of the lawsuits that have been out there. I disagree with the last gentleman about Mr. Melky. I think he's doing the right thing in investigating and looking backwards, although a lot of people would like to move forward and forget about what's happened. So if we could, in the next meeting, get some resolution, it's not until the end of March, unfortunately, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Any more public comment?
Oh, yeah. All right, still Brian Jones, still a member of the public. All right, I don't know, there's a huge conflict of interest here. There is absolutely, and then every time somebody says something against Chuck, you know, your little fan club comes up and I don't care. There are allegations against you, and if you had a bit of integrity, any at all, you would just step down or just, I don't know, take a breather. However you guys do that, let Jenny take over. She's your vice president. She's here. And then you could, you know, not, you know, sully your legacy or whatever you're worried about. But there are some serious allegations. Although people show up and say, well, I don't believe you would say that about Chuck Melky. I didn't say any of it. Somebody else did. That was FOIA'd. And then you got this lawsuit. That's going to ultimately take money away from kids. Sure, you might hit a couple people that you don't like or whatever. That's ridiculous too. We had a national search for board members. The 6 finalists, I could swing a cat and hit from their house, or hit their house from here. And except the one lady from Fort Wayne, who didn't make the cut because apparently we don't understand matrices or something. I don't know. Anyway, main thing being, if you have a national search and you find 6 candidates that are within 150 miles of here, you got to look at reasons why they did not come. And part of it is they probably looked at some of these board meetings, and they probably looked at some of the board members that, you know, are clueless, that are under investigations all the time, that have sued everybody and their brother, including Magoo's pet store. You guys got to just get your stuff together. Now, giving credit where credit is due, this VLC thing, that was correct. But here's my criticism about that, is it took God knows how long to notice that their principal is sitting right there. And you ignore experts. You have people that know things, and you try to suss it out amongst yourself, and I'm pretty sure the only people that are qualified to be a superintendent is that gentleman there and that gentleman there. So if you have questions about how things work, you need to ask them. If you have questions about how many, you know, do we have a stipend for teachers that are over? We do. I know that, but you know who else knows that? Right there. There's your union president. You can ask her.
1 second.
So ask your experts and not just wing everything and do, you know, just do whatever, because it does look bad. It looks bad on all of us. So y'all have a nice night.
Thank you, sir. Any more comment from the public?
Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. TJ Heck. I have a PhD in curriculum instruction and teacher education with a focus in science education. I've been working in education for over 20 years, and I've had the privilege of attending many of your committee meetings along with many of these board meetings. I just want to say I understand that being a board member is a lot of work for a little bit of pay. Kind of like teaching, kind of like administrating, right? We don't do education because we're going to make money off of it. We're educators because we love it. And so I want to remind you of how much the educators here in Swartz Creek have to love it in order to still be here, in order to maintain the work that they do for the students here. I also want to remind you that as board members, you do have a job to do, and that job includes reading hundreds of pages of policy documents, reading the memos and the emails before you come to the meetings, making sure that you're well-versed on what the work is when you show up here. It's not easy, I get that, but that is your job, that is what you signed up for, and that's what the public expects. So thank you for doing your jobs.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Board comments? No board comments?
Oh, go ahead.
Ken?
Sure. Just a little history lesson. This is not in defense of one of our candidates, but under Jeff Pratt, when Jim Blow was negotiating a contract, they went almost 2 years. I think if you do the math on that, that'll get you close to 500 days. Under Jeff Hall, still under Jim Blow, and I was here for that, we went 20 months, and then we involved Mr. Delaporte, and in 30 days, we had a contract. So that was 21 months that we went without a teacher's contract. So, not that I ever want to see a year, let alone 2 years. Historically, we've done it here with 2 different superintendents, and the only one that raised an eyebrow with it was the teachers and the teachers union. Wasn't any board members or anyone from the public or anyone else that really ever came and complained about it. And when we were under Jeff Hall, I'll let that board member remain nameless, but he was our current president, and he particularly asked that Jim not negotiate the contract because of what had taken place the last time. He still did. So long contract negotiations they happen. They shouldn't happen, but they happen. And they've happened here. So while this is not a defense of, I cannot pronounce the gentleman's last name. We'll call him Ken. But it's happened. And it happened here. And neither one of those gentlemen were ever asked to leave or anything else.
Go ahead, Andrea.
Okay. So, this is beating a dead horse, as Ken would say, over and over again. Anyone who's got questions about the July 17th, 24 meeting should definitely go back and watch it. I don't know the exact time. I brought those notes to a meeting and went through them very thoroughly, so I guess we have to keep talking about it. Holly and I clearly were not texting. Watch the meeting. We were not clearly texting during a vote. Vote was taken. Instantly, the vice president, Jack Sayer, said we need a tiebreaker. Holly had previously texted me on a break, so I knew she was watching. I said she was watching. Chuck actually asked if she could watch virtually. I've watched this a few times in case you're wondering, so I kind of have it down pat. But I'm imploring you all to watch it for yourselves. Mentioned she was watching, and Carrie asked me, can she come in? You can watch the whole thing. I was not texting her during the vote. We actually gave up screenshots because we weren't hiding anything. I don't know what the lie is about, but whatever. The look that you see actually is flattery. Flattery. pure flattery for your obsession with me. So you're not allowed to talk to me. You're not allowed to talk to me right now. Pure flattery. Flattery. The obsession is flattering. That's all I can say, Josh. I mean, I guess that meeting 6 years ago, I guess, yeah, it's flattery. Flattery. Not untouchable. I'm
Davis,
not.
please.
But it's
Board
flattery.
member speaking.
Have you ever heard of P.T. Barnum? And I'm not asking that question or answer. P.T. Barnum has a famous quote. No publicity is bad publicity. Keep saying my name, Josh. I love it. It does not offend me one bit because people say every day, I see your name everywhere.
Sorry.
So keep saying it. Pure flattery. So the destroying of public documents, my agenda that I take notes on is not a public document. Nothing was passed back and forth from Carrie and I that meeting. It's actually funny because I have video of you coming up to the counter that night. So if anyone wants to dispute it, I actually have the video of you coming up to the counter yelling about everything. So
Okay.
you can clearly
Both
see
of you,
Carrie
please.
didn't have anything to me. So, but that's all right. We have a video of your behavior. Losing money because of the mega site. You actually accused me that I was going to make money off the mega site, and I said actually technically you could say I've lost money. I didn't say I've actually lost money, but take it for whatever you want. So keep turning it out there. I completely appreciate the comment that you said I have criminal behavior going on. Appreciate that going on public record. So again, flattery is what you see, not smug, but flattery. And somebody made a comment about what we're looking into, and I know we're looking to, this is not the same, to replace Delacorte on an internal complaint, which I personally don't agree with, but I know we're moving that forward till next time. So I think that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Fick. Anybody else?
Yeah, I've got a few. I just have a problem with victim shaming when Chuck, they were allegations at this point, they're being investigated, and until then, I don't appreciate it. And then the hypocrisy of him not stepping down. Well, we've had another board president since I've been sitting up here who hasn't stepped down during an investigation, and again, nobody at the podium that night. So I just want to say it goes both ways. I just want to say it goes both ways. So, also, I thought that the students coming in tonight was really awesome. I liked seeing all them and all their support systems. I mean, we had a packed house the first 30 or so minutes of the meeting, so that was pretty sweet.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Thank you, Autumn. Carrie, you wanted to say something, ma'am?
I'm going to go to something positive. I'd like to try to end on that. I'm going to say again, and Desi, thank you for bringing it up. The Connections to Wellness in the Creek, the 4th annual, is being held on March 5th for the community. It starts at 5 o'clock in the evening. It's at the Cage Field House on Morris Road. It will end about 7:30-ish. And it's going to have over 50 wellness and community resources. There'll be food, good food, so come for the food. Also, there's a lot of opportunity for community, and it should be fun. There's lots of prizes that are available as well. There'll be parking at the Cage, and overflow parking, if people are wondering, will be available at Meyer across the street. They've been gracious enough to allow us to park there, and we are providing a shuttle bus back and forth so that you can safely cross Morris Road. If you have any questions, I know that in the next week there'll be a lot of activity. Michelle Corbett's here. She's done a fabulous job promoting this event, and we've had it over the last, I mentioned the last 3 years, this is the 4th year, very well received, and people's feedback is that it helps them out. And so, come one, come all. Mr. Johnson, you're invited as well. So I just wanted to mention that. A lot of work goes in it, and I want everybody to know that it's available.
Any other board members? I'll finish up. Kim? Good. Mr. Ken? Good. We already said I know about the thing, but yep. Miss Jenny? Okay, I want to thank the children that came in today to get their awards. I think that's a great idea. Wayne came up with the idea and ran it by me about a month or two ago, and I think it's a very positive thing for the district. I love it. It's nice to see the kids and the parents here. Mary Crapo, I want to remind everybody that on March 4th, it'll be open. Michelle Corbett will be there along with Michelle Paul and Bill Loader passing out coffee and donuts, and I hope the teachers come and all our athletic people come. It's probably the nicest ball field in all of mid-Michigan right now. So somebody wants to one-up us, and they'll get some money and build one nicer. But right now, we're at the top of the list. I want to thank Wayne for stepping in again for his 6-month internship / crucifixion or whatever you think, Wayne, but I think you're having fun, and you've done a good job for this board. I do deep down. Don't say, keep that water in your mouth. He's probably enjoying this. It's like a show. A little popcorn and Diet Coke, and it'll be just fine. So I think he's doing a great job. Contract negotiations, as far as that goes, it's going pretty well, from what I understand. So I was a union president for 17 and a half years, 18 years, the longest union president at the sheriff's office. And it was tough going. Sometimes we went a year without a contract. The good thing is everything's usually retroactive. It's to the positive, right? If anybody knows anything about contracts, especially for police officers, we can't strike. And it'll be the same for the teachers. And I did get a call from Al Jory. He had contacted our attorney somehow, and he's going to submit some stuff through his attorney, to our attorney to come back again, but he doesn't want any easement for water rights, just to let the board know. I probably should just do that in the memo. Still something to do with the driveway. I said, you'll have to bring it to the board. And other than that, I want to thank everybody for staying with us. It was a long meeting, but if you look at our agenda, we did it in record time. So with that being said, that's board comment. We're going to have to go into adjournment now for closed session, and I thank the public for showing up. I will. Yeah. I'm going to read the motion. Okay. I'd like a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of negotiations, OMA 15.268, Section 8, 1C, for strategy and negotiation sessions, connected with negotiations of a collective bargaining agreement. If either negotiating party requests a closed hearing, and to consider material exempt from discussion or disclosure by state or federal statute, along with a motion for the board to convene in closed session underneath the Opens Meeting Act to consider a letter from its attorneys dated February 20th, 2026 for the reason that the letter exempt from disclosure under state law due to attorney-client privilege, and that is the parking lot.
I'll move it. I'll move the motion.
Been moved?
Support.
Support? All in favor?
Wait.
Roll call. I'm sorry. Roll call.
Jenny Walgast,
Yes.
Ken Engel,
Yes.
Chuck Melkey.
Yes.
Autumn Henry.
Yes.
Kim Winter,
Yes.
Carrie Germain.
Yes.
Andrea Fick.
Yes.
7 yes.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, again, for attending the meeting.